off a wet pattern for the weekend. A few scattered showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon through this evening, a high of 82. Storms die down tonight. We'll see a low of 66. And then we start quiet on Saturday. But again, mid to late afternoon, showers and storms develop. We have a level 1 and 2 risk for severe storms. So tomorrow is a WRIL weather alert day for that potential for isolated tornadoes in our southern counties.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 89 points to 39,958. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step could lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. Hour of the Drive brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. North Carolina Amateur Sports. The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
He'll play it back. Martinuk's shot, and that hits the post. Gensel's shot, and then ricochets off the post, off of Shesterkin. He'll try a sharp angle shot on Andersen. He'll score. Kreider to the rebound. Now the Rangers moving the puck around. Panarin shot. They'll score. On the power play, Kreider was out in front. Rangers stuff it out in front. They'll score. It's Kreider, the hat trick. And Nason's drive trickles the goal line. D'Angelo with a shot, and it's over.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. I wish we were talking on different terms. I wish things were different. I wish. But that wish and whatever, like $8 will get you a coffee nowadays, right? It's worth not much. This season is over for the Carolina Hurricanes, and there's nothing we can do to soften that blow. We could come in here and give you the silver linings and everything, but it would be, and we will do that eventually, but to start with that would be disingenuous. The fact of the matter is the season's over. Fact of the matter is we all, including the team, had higher expectations than what they put on the ice in the postseason. For whatever reason, it's over. Second round exit, 6 games. New York Rangers ended your season on your home ice. And now we have to deal with that. I feel like we're starting like a therapy session or something.
I mean, it kind of is. Let's be real. Life sucks right now if you're a Canes fan. Let's be honest.
And now we have to come together and find a way to continue moving forward in the face of what we dealt with.
I hate it here.
And here's the, we're big on accountability. We're big on follow through here. As a compliment, by the way, I will say, I've loudly called this Canes season Stanley Cup or bust for 6 months. Stanley Cup or bust. Cup or bust for 6 months. And then the trade deadline came and they went all in. They signed or traded for a rental, right? The player on an expiring contract, Jake Gensel, for the first time in a very long time. And we got louder with it. All right, now not only is it's Stanley Cup or bust, it's Stanley Cup or bust, and the team seems to be acknowledging that they're thinking in a similar way. And we said Stanley Cup or bust, Stanley Cup or bust. No one had any problems with it. Well, Stanley Cup or bust has 2 potential outcomes. It's not Stanley Cup bust or give valiant effort or just let the little things get you or... No, there's no ors. It's Stanley, or there's just one or, I should say. Cup or bust, and they didn't win the cup. This season was a bust for the Carolina Hurricanes. That's not to say there wasn't bright spots. That's not to say we didn't have a good time. That's not to say there aren't players we really loved. Heck, there were getting points in the game last night I really loved. Shout out to Martinuk for that save.
He was great last night.
There were some really cool things this year. This season as a whole, bust. This is the first year since the 2019-2020 season that the Canes didn't advance further in the postseason than they did the year before. If we call this year 2024, just so I don't have to go 2023-2024 season over and over again, we'll just call this one 2024 postseason. In the 2020 postseason, first round. 2021 postseason, eliminated in 5 games in the second round. 2022 postseason, took them 7 games to be eliminated in the second round. In the 23 season, eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals. This year, to continue progressing, you had to at least go 5 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's not even my maybe too high expectations of Stanley Cup or bust. That's just on the expectations that you get better every year when your core continues to grow together. They did not do that. They went back to the second round. I think we can all understand what Jordan Martinook is saying right here when he adds, this one's going to hurt for a while.
Been in these spots a lot. My time here, it's just hard to. You think this is you know we have a great team. And you want it to be this year, and it just doesn't go your way. And then you look at the way our team was built. We got so many guys that I don't know if we're going to be back or so. It's just. Yeah, it's hard to kind of fathom it right now, and I've been thinking about this one for a long, long time.
Here's the thing. This team is too good, too talented. They went too all in on this year to pretend like a second-round exit is celebration-worthy or to pretend like a second-round exit is acceptable. Sometimes you got to call a spade a spade.
Yeah, this ain't 2019.
Exactly.
Where it was like, hey, we made the playoffs. Awesome. Wait, we won a series? Great.
That's why, like, being realistic with your expectations for your team is important, right? There's not 15 teams in the NHL that can realistically say their goals are to win a Stanley Cup. Now, obviously, they could stumble into some things, little luck here or there, whatever, catch lightning in a bottle. They might be able to go win a Stanley Cup, but there are not 15 teams that are Stanley Cup or bust. There's maybe 3, 4 that are Stanley Cup or bust. The Canes were one of them. And that's why I'm upset that they lost to the Rangers. Right? I don't want to settle for, the Rangers were the best team in the NHL this year. They won the President's Trophy. There's no shame in losing to them because I don't see the Rangers as a significantly better team than the Canes or as a better team at all than the Canes. Losing to them is not, you ran into a buzzsaw. Losing to them is you didn't play up to your potential and thus you're going home. The team was built for this year. It was that Venn diagram overlap of the young guys being at or near in their prime and the old guys still being under contract and still in their prime. Of having Jarvis on a still very, very cost-controlled contract and having Pesce and Shea still on their contract before they hit free agency this offseason. It was the Venn diagram overlap and still having enough cap space to bring on guys like Orlov and Gensel throughout the process. It was a sweet spot that you didn't take advantage of. And are there shoulda, woulda, couldas all up and down the postseason, especially the Rangers series? You're darn right. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? If this would have gone their way. If this call would have happened. If this power play would have been better. Every bad break. If Jesper Foss wouldn't have gotten hurt. If Pesce wouldn't have gotten hurt. Yeah, shoulda, woulda, couldas. They all exist. But the fact of the matter is, when you add up all the shoulda, woulda, couldas that went for you and all the good breaks the shoulda, woulda, couldas that went against you and all the good breaks that went for you, you tally them all up, you came up 2 games short of advancing even to the Eastern Conference Finals. And not to mention this, you had a 3-1 lead in the third period. You were set up. You just had to slam the door. And I would say you were incapable of slamming the door against the Rangers if I didn't see you just do it in Game 5. And now you have to deal with everything that comes with the offseason. A lot of actuallys. Well, actually, we didn't get beat that bad. Well, actually, we showed good fight coming back. Well, actually.
Those things can also be true.
Yeah.
More than one thing can be true.
Well, yeah.
Like, hey, you fought hard. You played your butts off. Like, a couple moments here and there are different. But guess what? You're still at home now.
Well, actually, none of that mattered.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you're at home. And now you have to deal with the questions of an offseason, which is going to be filled with questions for the Canes. Sebastian Aho on how hard it is knowing roster changes are coming.
Special group. I mean, just hopefully we'll stay same as possible. But we had, like I said, special group, and thought we had everything that we need to get over the hump, and yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it does. Thought you had everything you needed to get over the hump. So did we. Matter of fact, I still think you did. I think you have everything you needed in this season to get over the hump, but you didn't, and that's the part that really eats at me. And that's the part I think you have to be honest with yourself about. It's a cold glass of water to the face. It's not fun. The first morning waking up after your season is over, not fun. Not even a little bit. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, and it might even be more difficult for a guy who has taken a lot of heat today, took a lot of heat last night, Frederik Andersen in net. We have the goalie conversation coming up.
Golf's second major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the PGA Championship in Louisville, Kentucky.
And Brooks Koepka wins the PGA Championship.
Find out if Brooks Koepka can go back-to-back or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates. Coverage of the PGA Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina.
Where can you find a place that not only offers amazing food, but also a super unique and fun atmosphere? Hey, it's Victoria Bodenecker here to tell you that place is Norse Brewing Company in Wake Forest. There's also Norse Brewing Longhouse in Zebulon, but both locations offer a mouth-watering menu with a Scandinavian twist. They also make all of their adult beverages in-house. Plus, speaking of the aesthetic, you will completely embrace your inner Viking when you go here. Don't just take my word for it, though. Please go check them out for yourself. Find out more information at norsebrewingco.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows, along with no interest for 5 years. Plus, bonus savings when you schedule a consult today. If your windows leak, get foggy or hot, or you're paying high utility bills, that's a big deal. With Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal, too. Schedule a no-obligation in-home estimate. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
The Triangle is going to be hopping this summer with great soccer. June 5th through the 10th is TST, a 7-on-7 men's and women's tournament at Wake Med Soccer Complex featuring 118 matches. Then July 23rd, International Giants Manchester City and Celtic face off at UNC. Save 10% off tickets by going to fcseries.com/Carolina. Use promo code TRIANGLE. That's fcseries.com/Carolina. Promo code TRIANGLE for 10% off.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat Show only savings, discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission, and parking.
Hit the Grand Slam jackpot with BetMGM. Score a $50,000 bonus bet jackpot when a player you bet on to hit a homer slugs a grand slam. Hey, it's Victoria here for BetMGM, and all you need to do is head over to BetMGM and place a home run prop bet on any of this weekend's games. If the player you bet on goes yard with the bases loaded, you'll win a share of $50,000 in bonus bets on top of your wager. Take advantage of great home run odds, new ways to enjoy all 9 innings with more same-game parlay options and exclusive signature bets found nowhere else. Log into BetMGM and create your account to place a bet on a player to knock one over the fence this weekend. With BetMGM, official sports betting partner of the MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older only. North Carolina only. New and existing customer offers subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Now Panarin cutting into the backhand. Andersen with a save. Fox with the rebound. Andersen doesn't have his goal stick. Shot by Trocheck. Andersen. Oh, Mr. Andersen with the glove, and he's into the matrix.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Are we just going to get like mildly sad songs today?
Yes, we are.
Just minor chords. Oh, that's funny. You laugh so you don't cry.
Smile through the tears.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Frederik Andersen, where do we begin? Well, let's start with this, okay? There is a baseline of when the game is decided by such small margins and a 2-goal lead is lost a couple times, the goalie is going to be in the crosshairs. Mm-hmm. Even if a goalie plays well, that goalie is going to take some arrows, okay? So there is a baseline of, like, the first thing we have to do is decipher how much is warranted, how much is just the goalie is either the GOAT or the GOAT, right? They're either the greatest of all time GOAT or they're the scapegoat. Like, how much of it is that? I think Freddy deserves to take a lot of heat for this one. Freddy was not hyper sharp, to say the least. Right? 1, 2 soft goals. At least for sure 1.
Oh, yesterday 1.
And then the one that was tucked into the corner there, I don't know, it just felt like
that was the soft one.
Yeah.
That was the soft one. This the goal by Kreider, his first one that made it 3-2. That's the one you got to have.
82.6 save percentage, minus 1.18 goals saved above expected. In a game that came down to life's a game of inches, gentlemen. Not as sharp as we've seen him this year, not as sharp as we've seen him since he's returned. I don't even think he was as sharp as some of the games earlier in the postseason where we were going like, maybe he's tired. In the postseason, when the margin of error, the margin of victory gets smaller and smaller and smaller, Frederik Andersen is having a tough time. Now, I'm going to avoid, or maybe I'm not because I'm bringing it up. I didn't want Freddy in goal last night. I didn't want him in. You can go back. I put it on the record. I thought that the postseason grind of playing every game was getting to him, and I had been advocating for a couple weeks now of getting Pyotr Kochetkov more involved in order to get the best version of Freddie whenever he is in there, and I didn't think you lost much, if anything, by putting in Pyotr Kochetkov. That, I'm not sure is the challenge here. I'm not sure that's the right thing to point it to here. Trust me. Like I say this all the time, Dennis. I'm big on accountability, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have to eat the humble pie. Sometimes and I've eaten humble pie talking about Freddie this year. Sometimes we have to, allow ourselves to gloat a bit. I don't think this is that situation. I don't think this is one where it's a gloating situation. I think it's one where it's a bigger conversation about Freddie. Right? Because if he looked physically tired, that'd be one thing. Right, and it doesn't help that the broadcast, for those of you that watched on TV, slowed it down and pointed out that he lost his balance and kind of got his footing chopped up on one of the goals allowed. That doesn't help things when you're trying to say he's not physically tired. With 2 days off, I don't think he was physically anything hindered. It's right, the most valuable real estate in sports between the ears. You have to start asking yourself, is he a guy who, as you continue to build with this core, and next year they're going to look a lot different, but I've highlighted they've got a nice little squad of guys 26 or under. That'll be 27 or under next year. We're talking Aho, Svetch, Jarvis. We're talking Kochetkov. There's a nice little group there, Drury, of younger guys that you're going to try to build around, and you have to pick the right veterans to pair with them. It is a question on whether you want that to be Freddie Andersen. Because one thing that stings so much about this year, so much about this postseason, so much about last night, is you feel like you left some change on the table. Right? You feel like there's unfinished business. You didn't reach the top of your potential. And if part of that is because of Freddie's play or Freddie's lack of hyper-focus in the postseason, then you have to answer for it, right? And you definitely don't want to set yourself up to do it again. Because you want to talk about frustrating. Have multiple cup runs end because of the same thing. And you're going to sit there going, we didn't fix this? Right? Because I was a little critical of I don't even want to say a little critical. I was a little honest about the Canes after the game last night on Twitter, and people did not enjoy that. Right? There was a lot of, I've been enjoying watching this team for 6 months, and you're already turning on them. I'm going, no. What I don't want to do is deal another 6 months and end up right in the same place where we are right now. Because we've done it. We've done it. After last year's Eastern Conference Finals, what did Canes fans have to do? Sure, it was a sweep. Sure, it was a loss, but it wasn't as bad as it looks. It was 2 one-goal games and 2 overtime games. It really was a good series. It really was close. What are you going to be doing all this offseason? Sure, he went out in the second round, but guess what? It was to the President's Trophy team. It's a flaw in the NHL scheduling system that 2 of the 3 best teams played in the second round, and they were actually close. The losses were overtimes and 1-goal games and comebacks, and it was a great series. And all of that is true. But at a certain point, you don't want to have to explain yourself every offseason. So you have to start thinking about, is Freddie Andersen a guy that is going to get you to the Stanley Cup? Or is he going to be a guy that leaves you explaining things every offseason? It was really just 1 soft goal that made the difference. It only takes 1 soft goal to make the difference.
That opened the door.
So, I mean, Chris Kreider by goal must have looked like a soccer goal by the end of it, right? And it took that one to get it going. And the hard part is, there's a bunch of guys we're going to have conversations with because they're unrestricted free agents this offseason or restricted free agents this offseason. Mm-hmm. How much do you pay them? How much do you offer them? Do you offer them anything? One of the more difficult questions is about a guy who's under contract next year, Freddie Andersen. Do you bring him back as the 1? There's 3 options here, right? Do you bring him back as the goalie 1? Do you bring him back as the 2 and try to change up the hierarchy and roll with Pyotr Kochetkov? Or do you look around the league and go, who needs a veteran goaltender for about $3.5 million? Because I do think there is a market for Freddie. And that
Sure.
That contract is not any kind of anchor that nobody would want. Today stinks.
It does.
I just looked up Tiger Woods double bogeying the second hole.
Nah.
It's not a good day.
Not a great day. The one thing I figured out, at least for me, in my mind, when it comes to Freddie, he was here in 21-22 that season, was injured, didn't play in the playoffs. So, all right, you went out in the second round to the New York Rangers in 7 games. Ronta was your primary goaltender. Yep. Pyotr Kochetkov actually played a little bit in that postseason, too. It's like, okay, let's see what you can do with a healthy Freddie Andersen. Last season, played a decent amount in the playoffs, but still missed some time injured in the playoffs last year. Like, okay, he played 1 game against the New York Islanders, got a win, but that was it. Then he played the Devils series. Then he played against Florida. Didn't play in Game 2 because of the 4 overtime game in Game 1, so he didn't play in Game 2. And I thought, overall, the way he played in the Florida series, I was like, okay, they're 1-goal games. He played really well. Canes just didn't get enough scoring. They didn't get enough run support. So let's see if he can carry that over into this postseason. Letting multiple soft goals in this series. Go back to Game 3 when Alexis Lafreniere, oh, by the way, let's just throw the puck at the net while Frederik Andersen is trying to recover off balance while the puck's below the goal line. They did it to him again. It's like, dude, you let in multiple soft goals. You weren't even that great against the New York Islanders overall. I'm sorry. You've proven to me that you cannot be the number one goalie in the playoffs for this team. Backup, fine. If I'm the Hurricanes, I'm preparing to have Pyotr Kochetkov develop him to be my number one goalie come playoff time next year. When April rolls around, you better make sure Pyotr is ready to handle the number one spot.
And I want to emphasize you said for this team. Because Freddy's a good goaltender.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the NHL. He's going to be depended upon by somebody. It's just certain times you've just run your course with an organization, and a change of scenery is probably best for everybody. Or a change of role is probably best for everybody.
I think it's a change of role.
Those are the two options. 3 options, whatever I said earlier. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. It's tough reason, right? We're talking NBA now, and the DraftKings Sportsbook reads. We were talking hockey not long ago, but we change our focus. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. And if you're new to this whole sports betting thing, it's super easy. Try betting on something simple like a team to win. Go to the app, select your team, and place your first bet. It's that simple. Here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's TIMD, no spaces. And then bet $5 and you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Day's getting worse, by the way. I thought it was a double bogey for Tiger. It's a triple bogey for Tiger. Let's get to some silver linings, huh? Canes season's over. Silver linings from last night. Coming up next right here on The Drive.
The story of the nurse and the foot pain that nearly brought him down.
I feel like I'm giving people their lives back.
Robert lived to take care of his patients, but he couldn't do it unless he took care of his foot pain.
I have plantar fasciitis. It'll almost put you on your knees. That's how much it hurts.
His own recovery started when he got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now that I'm pain-free, I can make these people feel better.
Can't beat that. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com. A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store is in Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Fayetteville, and other locations across North Carolina. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today, or just stop by the store nearest you.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You don't sit on your keister as the home team drives in the playoffs. So after the game, get off your keister and get to Heister to score a killer special. Right now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington, get over $12,500 off a 2023 Dodge Charger or Challenger, up to $12,000 off the 23 Durango, or up to $13,000 off a 23 Grand Wagoneer. Rams, up to $10,007 off a 24 Ram 2500, or up to $12,600 off a 24 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Hurry in to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
SoundStation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know SoundStation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, SoundStation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. SoundStation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bobby Joe absolutely hated her job.
Can't hate that job any more than I do.
So, time for one of those fancy tech schools?
No, I could never afford that. I'm going to Sharky's.
Sharky's?
Yeah, no better place to relax. Great food, cold beer, good whiskey, darts, billiards.
So now you love your job?
No, I still hate my job, but I loves me some Sharky's. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody loves Sharky's. Sharky's Place, one of the best neighborhood bars in the world. 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Alice Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. When people come over to the showroom, they see all of these great doors. I'm not saying that this is what you guys specialize in. You specialize in everything, but let's talk some doors.
The doors are a great way to beautify your home. And when you come into the showroom, one of the first things I ask you to do is to open and close the door. It's a big difference. So with the doors, you pick out the hardware, you pick out the colors, you pick out the style. They come in fiberglass, they come in steel. We got multiple glass options. It's a great way to improve your home. It's easy to do. It's affordable. And these doors, a lot of times you go in and out the door 10, 20 times a day. You might open the windows 10 times a year.
Though that is true. By the way, I'm not sure I've ever walked through my front door.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, we use the back door.
The back door is side door. We do those also.
All right. That's Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham. AluminumCompany.com. Check them out if you need a door.
The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canes game last night, especially that third period, stunk. Hard to watch. Feel for the players. You feel for the fans that were so invested. It's everybody's kind of in a group therapy session today. But the facts of the matter are, not everything was bad last night. It came with some silver linings. There were some good parts, some morsels of good you could take away from the Carolina Hurricanes game. Start was great. You could tell the Canes were shot out of a cannon. You could tell that they were, ready to rock as soon as the game started. Shout out to our very own here at 99.9 The Fan, Victoria Vodenecker. Produces the Adam Gold Show right before this one. As far as our first goal scorer predictions went, she went Natchez in the first.
Nailed it.
She texted me last night, said, what do I get for picking it right? I said, all the bragging rights and probably a shout-out on the show. Here you go, Victoria.
Yeah, she was, we were up sitting on press row, and she's like, I got it. I got first goal scorer.
Everything was coming up Canes at that point. It was, I got first goal scorers. Well, did you pick who got the last three? Chris Kreider. I'm trying to do silver linings here, and I keep coming back to the sad stuff.
And especially with the fact that it was late in the first two. It's like, oh, okay, now you're carrying a 1-goal lead going into the second period, into the intermission. I was like, okay, nice. I like it.
Especially because at different points throughout the season, it seemed like every late period goal was scored against the Canes, not for the Canes.
So often, felt like.
So getting that for the Canes felt like something special. Felt like, all right, they're in it. They got another one. All right, gave one up. But they got it back. It was that kind of deal. And the start has to be worth something. What about Jordan Martinook?
He was awesome yesterday.
Maybe made the save of the playoffs.
Yeah.
One of the more, in real time, I'm usually pretty good, right? I watch a lot of football where his feet in bounds. I'm usually pretty good in real time on deciding that kind of stuff. I thought that the puck that Jordan Martinook saved behind, just from over the line, I thought that thing was 8 inches into the goal. I was like, oh, man, good effort, not even close. You go back, watch the replay, he completely saved it. As soon as one angle replay. Got it. Nope. Kept it out. Jordan Martinook probably, at least, you start looking at free agency decisions, he probably got himself a couple extra $100,000.
Possibly.
In that game, just because it's the last taste in your mouth. It's recency bias.
He also had the assist on on Natchez' goal.
He played really well, and just kind of one of those winning plays all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, both with multiple points in an elimination game, is great for their experience in producing in big games. And I remain a believer in Aho being good enough to be the best player on a cup team.
Mm-hmm.
I remain a believer. I'm seeing some jump off. Somebody on Twitter sent me a list, right? And it was, goalie needs to play better. Got to figure out what happened with the power play. And then one of the bullet points was, Aho's not good enough to be the number one player on a cup team. And I went, agreed. Ooh, not that one. We can agree to disagree on that one. Most of the rest, we were on the same page. Seth Jarvis got back in the point column, scored a goal with a power play goal.
Yeah.
With a power play goal.
I was sitting next to Adam Gold, and this is the Rangers run a power play because Martinook had a high stick, and then penalty call drawn by Jarvis, made it 4-on-4. And then as Martinook was coming out of the box, I said, you watch, this is going to be the shortest power play the Canes are going to have all game. This will be the one they score on. And sure enough, they scored on it, the 52-second power play. Good on them.
I mean, maybe that's the thing. That's the
don't give them a whole lot of time.
That's the Globetrotter story I talked about from a kid, where Showtime for the Globetrotters when I was a kid missed a half-court shot, grabbed the microphone, said, sorry, everybody, I know the problem. I was too close. And he took 10 steps back, and then he shot again, and he missed. And hey, everybody, I know the problem. I was too close. Took 10 steps back, drilled it. That's the Canes. They're like, oh, sorry, I know the problem with our power play. We had too much time to try to score. Cut that bad boy in half. We'll score 40% of the time.
We'll be good.
The problem was it was too easy. We need to make it more difficult on ourselves. But the fact that it was Seth Jarvis also was great. I think Seth Jarvis, we'll learn in the next however many weeks if there's any injury that he was dealing with, if we ever will. But I think a lot of us felt like he was, right? A lot of us felt like there was something off over the last week and a half with Jarvis. He looked more healthy in Game 6, right? Didn't look like he was laboring as much. Looked like his shot was snapping off a little bit quicker. And to see him score a power play goal was great. It was unbelievably fun. So there was things going right. How about a couple of those defensive plays from Jalen Chatfield? I mean, it's
a big block shot right there at the end of the first period.
And there were a couple where you're like, that had to be a penalty. And then you watch it in slow motion and you're like, no, that's actually clean. The one you're talking about. There was good mixed in with the scary and the bad last night for the Canes. And that's kind of how I look at this postseason or this series with the Rangers. Obviously, there was good against the Islanders. You won You won in 5 games. But in this Rangers series, it's there's good mixed in with the bad. The problem is, right, if it was 49% bad or good and 51% bad, that's all that matters, right? It's kind of a majority rules in this situation. But you start looking at the decisions that are going to be made this offseason, right? You start looking at the aggressive nature of roster management that's going to hit this offseason, and you realize some of these guys this postseason made your job easier. They either played well enough that or did the little things well enough that you're like, we absolutely want to bring them back if we can. Or on the flip side, some of those guys maybe disappeared in moments where you would have liked to have seen them, and that makes the decision easier on the other side. We Dennis and I were talking about Jesperi Kotkaniemi earlier today. Mm-hmm. Whether he was a postseason disappointment, and this conversation has been rattling around in my brain because I don't think you can be a postseason disappointment if we weren't even sure you were going to be in the lineup in the postseason, right? Like, you're only disappointed by the way Jesperi Kotkaniemi played in the postseason if you didn't watch the regular season. It had become the expectation. However, and Dennis was on the other side of this argument going, no, he's a $4.8 million player and he didn't play well in the postseason, could barely get on the ice. How is he anything but a disappointment? This is one of those arguments where I think they're on the both sides. Like, there's good points on both sides. I think what it was we were holding out hope that he would change our minds, right? You hope that he sometimes, like the playoffs, the postseason, the intensity snaps you into a different gear, and that didn't happen for him. And now the conversation around him this postseason is, can you find someone to take that contract off your hands? Because it's not just $4.8 million this year; it's $4.8 million every year until 2030.
Yeah, I think it's 6 more seasons after this one.
It becomes a bit of an anchor, an albatross. It's very, very difficult to move. So mixed in with those conversations, there's conversations like Seth Jarvis, which is you find the money to pay that guy, and you try to make him happy, and you try to sign him long-term, even though you have some short-term options in the contract negotiation world. And that's one of those contracts you rush to sign. You're excited to sign. That's what you want to have happen. I don't want to sit here and pretend like, oh, we have to pay Seth Jarvis and hopefully we can pay Gensel is a problem. That's what you want. You want your first-round picks to turn into guys that perform in the postseason, that help you win series, that perform in elimination games, and demand big contracts. You want Jake Gensel to be a player that you bring in at the deadline hoping to have a long-term future with, and you end up with a long-term future with. And then this is the other side of it. Ready? And this is going to sting a little bit, but I think it's the mature thing to do. You have to give the Rangers their credit. You don't have to like them, right? You don't have to like them. You don't have to think they handle every situation perfectly. You definitely don't have to like the prevailing thought, at least from my vantage point, that they are grade A tip-top floppers. They know how to take a little bit of contact and make it look like a lot of bit of contact. You don't have to like everything about them, but just like there were silver linings for the Canes, there are things you can't ignore with the Rangers and how they played. Starting with Chris Kreider. He is officially in that group of players that you sure would like to have a guy like that on the squad. Right? That third period, it was equal parts. It felt like the Canes were losing control, and equal parts it felt like Chris Kreider was taking control. Here's Rod Brindamore on if it felt like they lost control in the third.
We started out, actually, it was really good. We were going good, and then, obviously that goal was a tough one. It just can't happen. We know that. And then you can't give a team like that a goal, and I thought we gave them a couple, and that's really not good. And then the momentum changed a little, and then obviously took a penalty. And, they're top guys over in the third. Once they got that one, and we had a couple chances. I think we had a breakaway in the third. Like, even when we were down one, we got it right in front all alone. And you got to give them credit. Their top guys stepped up when they needed to.
You have to tip your cap in the third period to the Rangers a bit. I mean, Kreider had a third period natural hat trick to close out a hard-fought series against a very good team. And you know what's the most frustrating part about Kreider's performance? The Canes don't have that guy. The Canes could use that skill set so much.
6'3", 233.
I was gonna hype him up even more and go like 6'4", 240.
I mean, basically, he's Peyton Wilson out there. Let's call it what it is in terms of his size.
And put him on skates, behemoth.
Yeah, exactly.
The most frustrating part is the Canes have some guys that can play in front of the net. They don't necessarily have the tree that grows roots in front of the net. Stefan Noesen doesn't play enough minutes. Some guys like Jink Gensel don't mind playing there, but they're so small that they're going to get pushed around if they hang out there too. And small is the wrong word. They're just not behemoths. They're not 6'3", 240. Their top few lines, the Canes, lack the 6'3", 230-pound guy that makes his living in front of the net and loves scoring those goals. And to watch something you don't have be your undoing in an elimination game is so frustrating. It is so it makes you question how the roster was put together, even though, and I'm guilty of this, loved the way the roster was put together like 3 weeks ago. It's so difficult to look at it and go, they are missing that, aren't they? Chris Kreider ended the Canes season doing what we wanted the Canes to do all series, which is get in front of the net and score. Right? How many times did somebody bring up Stefan Noesen and we were like, I hope he plays more because he gets those dirty, greasy, grimy right in front of the net, in front of his office goals, and that's what it's going to take to beat the Rangers. You might not beat Igor on the first attempt, but you might be able to get him when on the rebound. And Chris Kreider was like, did somebody say scoring off the rebound?
I'm right there, cuz. Oh,
off a deflection?
Deflections, I'm here for you. Just sitting in front of the net, little quick redirect, I got you.
And maybe that's something they make a priority this offseason.
I said it last year. Year ago, I was like, the guy that beat him last year, like Matthew Tkachuk, I was like, Matthew Tkachuk is everything you want Andrei Svechnikov to become. Like, you have to be willing to make a move to go get that guy. And we talked about key players game one of this series. What was one of the guys that I mentioned? Was Chris Kreider.
Yep.
I was like, that guy's going to make a living hell for the Carolina Hurricanes in front of the net. And 7 goals this postseason already for him.
And at the time, we talked about how it was going to have to be Burns and Slavin, and it was going to have to be Orlov, and the guys with a little bit of heft to them on the defensive end to try to get in there and battle with them. And at times they did a good job, and obviously that third period he caught up to him.
And Kreider's not a lug either. That dude could skate.
Yep.
Like, dude's fast. He can skate. He kills penalties. He does a little bit of everything.
Sometimes you have to tip your cap in certain respects. Do I think the Canes had a lot of ways where they controlled their own destiny and didn't fulfill it? Yes.
100%.
But at the same time, you do have to realize that the Rangers shut some doors, right? They did not, it's not like it was an all-time collapse by the Canes. Part of it was taken away by the Rangers, and Kreider, obviously one of those guys. Last night was a tough one.
By the way, real quick silver lining that we missed. So part of the Jake Gensel trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins was – if the Canes made the Stanley Cup Finals, the pick that they sent to Pittsburgh was a first-round pick. Now, because the Canes didn't make the Stanley Cup Finals, you keep the first-round pick. You're just sending a second.
That's funny. I completely forgot about that.
Silver lining, folks.
That is
keeping that first-round pick, baby.
Definition of a silver lining.
Let's go.
Because when that trade happened, all we all said was, if they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, we'll be good sending a first-round pick.
Take the first. Fine.
Take a bunch of them for a cup.
Yeah, worth it.
That was the way we looked at it. Now the silver lining is, well, at least get the first-round pick back.
Got the first.
When you have to start a sentence with that sound, that's going to be a silver lining. It's like,
we put it that way.
Oh, goodness. Let's get a PGA Championship update here. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the PGA Championship. Here's the current leaderboard from Valhalla. First, Colin Morikawa went on a run today. He is in first, 11 under on the tournament. Xander Schauffele, who just got started in the second round and is already 1 under on the day through 3 holes, is in second at 10 under. And then you have Thomas Dietrich, 9 under. He's in the clubhouse after round 2. And one of the crazier stories I've ever seen in golf. Scottie Scheffler is tied for third after going 5 under today. If you haven't heard yet, this is going to sound crazy. He was detained by the police this morning driving into the course. He was taken in. He was booked and charged on 4 different charges. Took a mugshot wearing the gold jumpsuit. And an hour and a half after being in custody, teed off in the second round of a major and shot 5 under 66. Now, all right, well, PGA Championship updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina, now part of the McConnell Golf footprint, spanning from the mountains to the coast. Going back to the conversation about Scheffler. It started with a tragedy, and this is the serious part, and this is not meant for shock and awe. There was a fatal accident near the course this morning. This is before Scottie Scheffler got involved. Someone that was working for one of the vendors at the tournament was struck by a car and lost his life or her life. That is the serious part. That is the tragedy. That is the main part. Secondarily, because of that accident, the police presence in front of the course closed down roads, shut things down, barriers, cones, everything.
Which is usually like in a fatal car accident of some kind. That's usually standard procedure.
So the confusion, it seems, stems from a lot of times in front of PGA golf tournaments, particularly majors, there is some kind of security presence that is blocking down areas, and the players drive around it, right? The players say, hey, I'm a player, and they just kind of roll. Like if it's your neighborhood and you have a gated neighborhood, you have like the path to get through, but the guests have to stop and talk. Here's where the stories kind of differ. Here's where the stories get a little crazy. The police report says that Scottie Scheffler, after interacting with a police officer, ended up dragging a police officer by his car. So the police officer was outside the car and through some kind of communication, interaction, ended up being dragged by Scottie Scheffler's car, depending on where you look, which report, 5 to 10 yards. His pants, which we know from the police report, were damaged beyond repair. There were bumps, bruises, cuts, abrasions, things like that. To the police officer, which is how Scottie Scheffler ended up being charged with second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, not obeying officers' orders in a car. Unbelievable, right? It's all happened very early in the morning. It felt like everybody was waking up, but still in some kind of weird nightmare/dream. Scheffler then somehow booked all those things, released on his own reconnaissance, makes it to the course in time for his 10:08 tee time, which was only delayed because of the accident and all the traffic out front. And he shoots one of the best scores on the course today. Obviously, we have to let the police side of things, the criminal justice side of things play out. From a pure ability to block out whatever distractions and whatever else is going on and focus on golf, Scottie Scheffler is a superhero. Now, the criminal system will sort out any guilt and innocence and others, whatever happened out there early in the morning on the roads in front of the course. But from a pure, just looking at the on-course side of things, that's an unbelievable amount of compartmentalization, being able to block things out and focus on a task at hand. And I mean, he birdied his first hole. There was no shaking it out. He did short range time, short game on the putting green, walked out there and was one of the best golfers in the world. And now he's tied for third in a major with 4 different criminal charges hanging over his head.
Talk about being mentally locked in.
Mentally locked, he's one of the first guys where it's what are you thinking when you play golf? And he's like, I've got two swing thoughts and that's it. I believe him now.
Yeah.
Most golfers have 3,700 things they're thinking of, and they blame all of them on why their swing isn't right. What is Scottie thinking of? Golf. Locked in. Unbelievable. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to take a break here. We have football at 4 coming up next, including a deep dive into the Panthers' schedule. And, at the risk of jinxing the Panthers, I'll say it now and I'll justify it when we come back. It's a winnable-looking schedule for the Carolina Panthers. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Are you a big rock, paper, scissors person?
Absolutely.
Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Man, best of 3. Ready?
You can't change the rules.
Why not?
All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, he got me. He got me.
And she put the rock. Yes.
I thought he'd go scissors again.
It really is a psychological game.
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Spectrum Internet has enough speed to handle all your needs, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus, Spectrum's advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security for all your connected devices. Get Spectrum Internet with fast and reliable speeds, starting at just $29.99 a month with a 2-year price guarantee. Visit spectrum.com/internet for you for full details. Offers subject to change, valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 Pepsis for just $4 at Handy Hugo. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
If you think you or someone close to you is having a stroke, we have 2 words for you. Be fast. B for balance, E for eyes, F is in face, A for arms, S for speech, T for time to call 911. Look for changes in balance, vision, or speech, weakness in one arm, a drooping face. Learn the signs at wakemed.org/stroke, because every second counts.
From the Canes to the Panthers to all of the college sports in the Triangle, we cover it all on the Best of the Drive with Tim Donnelly podcast. Brought to you by Coach Pete at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Visit us at capitalfinancialusa.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. An increasing chance for thunderstorms as we get through late this afternoon into the evening and overnight. We'll see a high of 82 today. 66 degrees tonight with some storms diminishing. And we'll see cloudy skies. And tomorrow we'll see dry conditions for the first part of the day. Mid to late afternoon, storms develop. But tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. We have a level 1 and 2 risk for severe storms with a level 2 risk in our southern counties, a high of 78.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 127 points to 39,996. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump into football at 4, we do need to let everybody know 4:33 is going to be your time. Maybe even a few minutes early today. But guarantee you at 4:33, phone lines are going to be open. Canes takes, Canes opinions. What happened? Give us a what had happened was.
Sling firing arrows if you want to.
Whatever you need to get off your chest when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes. 4:33 phone lines will be open. And again, maybe a few minutes early because Dennis just gave me the heads up that the comment section is a little fiery right now. So
very much so.
Might need a little bit more time. We'll judge that as we go. But 4:33 for sure, we'll have the Heister Automotive Group hotline open for your Canes takes.
There's some people making some excuses, which I don't agree with, but we'll dive into that later on.
Yeah, that was frustrating me last night.
Yeah.
Eventually, I just had to put the phone on the bedside table and go, you know what? We'll deal with this in the morning. Quickly, though, it's football for us. Let's get to the football side of it. The Panthers, I'm just going to say it. I did a deep dive into their schedule this morning, right? Kind of that I need to unplug from the Canes. Let me focus on something else. I brought up their schedule, and I went through it, and this was my takeaway. There are a lot of winnable games. There's a way, there's a path. The Panthers can kind of shock some people this year with the pure number of wins. And here's the thing about it. I don't even know if they have to be like that great of a team to do it. Looking at just their non-divisional games, okay? So every year you're going to play the Saints twice, the Falcons twice, and you're going to play the Bucs twice. And that is what it is, right? If they're all good, you're going to play them twice. If they're all bad, you're going to play them twice. It's going to be home and away. Can't really do much with that. But what I will say is this year they're not going to be all good, right? Maybe the Falcons are a bit better. Maybe the Bucs caught lightning in a bottle and it's going to continue with Baker Mayfield, but they lost their play caller. The Saints are finally paying for all of the salary cap gymnastics they did for years and years and years. Like none of those three teams tremendously scare me. Looking at the non-divisional games, the ones that kind of change every year, they play 5 of the 8 teams with the worst Super Bowl odds in the league. And guess who has the worst Super Bowl odds in the league? The Panthers. So they play 5 of the other 7 worst teams in the league when it comes to Super Bowl odds. They play Vegas, they play Washington, they play Denver, they play the Giants in Munich, and they play Arizona at different points in the season. Those teams are all in the bottom 7 non-Carolina version of teams' Super Bowl odds right now. If you don't think at any point in time you can stumble into a win against one of the bottom quarter, right? There's 32 teams, 8 is the quarter. Bottom quarter teams in the league. What are we doing here, right? Even the bad teams are still professional football players. Like even the bad teams, if you're the Panthers, you have to think you win, 2 or 3 of those? If you're not penciling in near 50% of your wins against teams that are in the bottom quarter of the league in Super Bowl odds, then get everybody out of the building and start over from scratch.
Well, here's the thing. Those teams are doing the exact same thing. Like, whoa, hey, Carolina Panthers, hey, got a good shot at this one right here.
Sure. I'm not saying they shouldn't. Matter of fact, for the exact same reason I'm giving, they should. You have 3 teams on your schedule, including your divisional games, that are in the top quarter of Super Bowl odds, meaning they have they'll be the lowest payouts. They're the best chances. That's Cincinnati in week 4, Kansas City in week 12, Philadelphia in week 14. Now, Kansas City, you're getting after your bye week. So maybe there's something going on there where you can really, use all of your ammunition. Other than that, other than those games I just listed, all middle-of-the-pack teams. I see a lot of winnable games. Now, here's the hard part. The Panthers are favored in none of those games, not a single one. If you go on the sports books right now, there is 0 games that the Panthers are favored at the moment. Now, their win-loss total, if you're looking overall, is 4.5. So the books are saying you're not favored to win any of the games, but they're expecting to be wrong about 4 times. That is best-case scenario for the Panthers. Best-case scenario. Right? You're not playing so many of the big bad wolves that we would just go, yeah, it's probably a loss. Like, if we're being honest, the Kansas City game, the Philadelphia game, yeah, it's probably a loss. Even some of the middle of the pack, right? Like a Chargers game or a Chicago game. I'm not looking at those and chalking them up as L's. Right? I used to go through every I used to do a more national show and where we focus more on like the big picture of the professional leagues rather than the local teams. And I used to go through every single schedule. I almost said roster. And put W, L, or question mark before the season for every NFL roster. I don't know if I'm seeing too many W's or L's in this one. And that's not saying the Panthers are suddenly great. I'm saying they play a lot of also bad teams. This looks like a lot of question marks. And if you're a Panthers fan, this is matter of fact, this ties in everything we were talking about with the Canes earlier today. The Canes, we can be disappointed with a second-round exit in the postseason based on everything that they've built, all the players that they've had, all the proven accolades that they've acquired. With the Panthers, I think you should be pretty darn happy to just see a lot of question marks when we're talking which games are going to be wins and which games are going to be losses. You have different expectations. If I tell you play Tampa and Atlanta in week 17 and 18, and I think you win one and lose one, and you can pick which one of those it is, Panthers should be celebrating. They're going, wait a second, did you say that? Parse that out through an entire schedule, win one, lose one. We're nearing 500. Sign me up. We've kind of said, and I think, Dennis, you agree with this, but correct me if I'm wrong, 5 to 6 wins?
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting at. The 5-6 wins, but you know what? That's fine. Progress.
I think there's a world where they win 8.
Things have to break their way, but I
think there's a world where they win 3. And I think most of the simulations that I run in my own brain are 5 or 6 wins. I don't think Panthers fans recognize yet how much more enjoyable a 6-win season is than a 2 or a 3-win season. It may not seem like much because it's not like 6 wins is sniffing the playoffs, right? You're still in the basement. You're still probably near the bottom of your division. You're still thinking top 10 pick. So you still feel like you're in the dungeon, but it's just like you're not going 8 weeks without a win, right? Because if you win 6 games, it's not like you win 6 in a row, right? They're going to be spread out. It's not like we were the best team until week 7, and then we lost everything. You just don't have those long just stretches of despair, right? You get to go, well, at least we won 2 weeks ago. Or, hey, you know what? That That Giants game's coming up. I think we can win that one in Munich. Like, there's just a little bit more hope, and it completely changes the entirety of the season. So the upbeatness you hear in my voice is not just because I'm trying to talk about something positive with the Canes ending their season yesterday. The upbeat you hear in my voice is also not me saying I think the Panthers are going to make the postseason or something crazy. The upbeat in my voice is we might avoid a 2-month losing streak next year.
Let's go.
And I look at the schedule and I see winnable games kind of in every month. And most of them, multiple winnable games in each month. So you don't even have to bat 100% in the games where you're playing another bad team to dramatically improve your season.
At least just be competitive, right?
Exactly. Don't get blown out. Have fourth quarters that matter. How about this? Something that the Panthers didn't do at all last year. Not a single second. Have the lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Panthers had 2 wins last year, both on kicks as time expired. The Panthers did not have a single second in the fourth quarter of a game last year that they were in the lead. I can say with my chest, I don't think that happens this year. They might not go a month without having a fourth quarter lead. And for your optimism, for your just like, I don't know, joy in being a fan. That is huge. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly, want to tell you about Window Nation's semi-annual sale. 50% off all window styles, plus 0% interest for 5 years with an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. And obviously we're at the end of the week, so work quick. 50% off all window styles, 0 interest for 5 years, and on top of that, an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. I'll tell you how you can do that in a second. This is a little insider window knowledge for you. Many so-called wood or composite windows, they're actually made from waste materials like wood fibers, and cannot, just based on the materials they're made out of, they cannot beat the efficiency of Window Nation's insulated vinyl windows. The vinyl windows can do everything that they do, but they can't do what the vinyl windows do. We're talking about lowering your energy bill, keeping all the air that you pay to heat and cool inside your house and not leaking through your windows. We're talking about raising the value of your home, right? A ton based on putting in new windows. The truth is that the top quality vinyl windows from Window Nation will meet or beat the performance of composite or wood windows that you may have heard about in the past. Now, schedule a consultation. It's free, it comes with no obligation, and it lets you learn so much more about how your windows can help save you money and make you money. Semi-annual sale at Window Nation is going on right now. 50% off all styles of windows, 0 interest for 5 years, and an additional bonus discount for booking your appointment this week. To do just that, 866-90-NATION. That's the number, 866-90-NATION. Or you can go online at windownation.com. That's windownation.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, let's look at the little things for the Canes. And we will be opening up the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. Not too far away. We're going to get your thoughts on the Canes season ending and the hot takes that come along with it. So come prepared. That's all coming up next right here on The Drive.
The Adam Gold Show.
Look, I'm not even sure how to pronounce his name, but Xavier Legette, if he is half as good as a player as he is fun to listen to as a human, I think the Panthers have something. He's big, he's fast, he can catch, he's got wingspan, but he's got personality. And man, that is awesome. I can't wait to watch him.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life, Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat show only savings, discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds, featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission, and parking.
Where'd y'all go last week?
Well, we've been watching our budget.
So no going out?
Oh yeah, we're going out, just hitting all the specials. First, we hit the House of Hops. That's Jerome's favorite spot. Big savings on Monday and Wednesdays. Mix and match craft beer and 25% off on to-go growlers. Oh, it's a great place to relax.
You know, the Mix has some good specials and they're across the street.
You have to check out their wine tastings once a month and their live music schedule, plus $5 draft beer on Thursdays. Then Saturday, it's salt and lime brunch, and Monday they have $5 margaritas.
Wait, what about Sharky's?
Oh, sweetie, you know Sharky's is special all the time.
So you're just going in a circle. House of Hops, Salt and Lime, the Mix, then Sharky's. House of Hops, Salt and Lime, the Mix, then Sharky's. Sounds like a vicious cycle.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a vicious cycle. More like a wonderful cycle.
Yeah, sounds like a cycle I need to be riding.
House of Hops, the Mix, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Definitely a cycle you should be riding. Hope to see you soon.
The Triangle is going to be hopping this summer with great soccer. June 5th through the 10th is TST, a 7-on-7 men's and women's tournament at Wake Med Soccer Complex featuring 118 matches. Then July 23rd, International Giants, Manchester City, and Celtic face off at UNC. Save 10% off tickets by going to fcseries.com/Carolina. Use promo code TRIANGLE. That's fcseries.com/Carolina. Promo code TRIANGLE for 10% off.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Just sad music. All day we're breaking down. It's almost an autopsy of the Canes' loss in the second round to the Rangers. Solidified last night with just the dagger. Canes going into the third period with a 3-1 lead. And leaving that period with a loss. Just brutal. And here's the breakdown of it. The Canes can look back on the series loss and tally up all the little things that led to them being sent home. Right? All of the seemingly minuscule differences or the breaks that could have gone this way or that way, or all of the posts they hit, and say, man, if one of those would have went our way, whole series would have been different. And maybe it would have. But that's kind of what postseason sports is. That's kind of what postseason hockey is, right? The the little things become more important. But let's look at the difference between the first two periods when the Canes were cooking and the third period. Here's Sebastian Aho, team leader, obviously one of their best players, on what changed in the third.
Start of the third period, I mean, we had 2 posts there, had a breakaway, and plenty of looks, and obviously couldn't score there, and then they scored when they had a chance. So, I don't know what changed.
You don't know what changed because it wasn't whole-scale craziness, right? It's not like, well, in the first 2 periods we, we're playing our strong-handed way, and in the third period we all switched to left-handed. Like, there's nothing that big and that crazy that changed. It's the little things. Jordan Staal, the captain, on what they could have done differently in the third.
Obviously they got a big goal to kind of get them going, and obviously tough timing penalty. Obviously would love to have been on that kill with the idiot in the box, but a big kill there would have probably changed momentum for us, and we could have maybe taken it back to them. They get a big goal, and then they're roaming from there, and at that point it's obviously a one-shot game, and they got it quick.
We're going to talk about that Staal penalty in a second. The fans out there listening that are trying to justify the exit by bringing up how close the Canes were in the 4 games they lost, I look at that the exact opposite way. The 4 games they lost were by razor-thin margins. I agree with that. Overtimes, 1-goal games, I got you. I'm with it. But that means the Canes only had to make one more play, right? That means the Canes only had to make one more great pass. They only had to make one more great shot. They only had to challenge Igor Shesterkin one more great time. It was one more. If you get blown out by 6 goals, it's like, you know what? You ran into a great team and they smoked you. But in those 1-goal games, those overtime games, you look back and the trivial, dumb, little things matter more. Right? Early in the series, the penalties by Andrei Svechnikov, they add up. Jordan Staal, the captain, last night, he's maybe one of their most important parts of their penalty kill. And that they can probably take maybe out. He's one of the most important parts of their penalty kill. He goes in the box for a cross check. They score. And it's not even a long time and they score. Maybe Staal taking the penalty and not being available for the penalty kill was the one thing that if that changes, you win the game. And if if it's that razor thin, if it's that close, how do you use that as like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad? I'm looking at it and saying that's worse. If your captain doesn't take a cheap penalty in the third period, you might have won the game. That's not a, well, actually, the loss wasn't that bad. That's a, well, actually, the loss stings more. And if you don't like the call, all right, oh, it was cheap. Oh, who was it? Zibanejad took a dive. Oh, fine. It came right after. They probably should have had a delay game penalty. So those calls were going both ways. The maybes, the closes, the what happened there. I mean, that was like right after.
I was sitting next to Adam Gold as soon as Stahl's arms extended and Zibanejad went into the boards, I just said, cross-check. And literally after the word came out of my mouth, ref arm goes up. I'm like, yep, there it was.
Even when they replayed it, it was like, yeah, it doesn't look that hard, but it like by the letter of the law, it is a cross-check.
I honestly thought, I said, that's a penalty in my mind.
It's a frustrating, it's like when you...
but you can kill the penalty.
Yeah, it's like a hold on the left tackle when you have a touchdown on a toss right, and you're just like, I don't think it really impacted anything, but it is a penalty.
It is a penalty.
I don't think it really did any damage, but yeah, it's cross-check. Like It is. And that almost makes it worse. Get your money's worth. You know what I mean?
And there are so many different times throughout the game yesterday. You talk about little things. Like, you know what? Like, you didn't get the puck out of the zone. Like, it got to the blue line. You didn't get the puck fully out of the zone. And guess what happens? It means you had to retrack and go back and play defense again a little bit longer and allow the New York Rangers to put more pressure in your offensive zone, all those little things. And then I don't know what Dmitry Orlov was doing there in the second period when the New York Rangers got their first goal. Like, I call that a beer league pass because I play as someone who plays beer league hockey.
You love beer league, but beer league pass is not a compliment.
But beer league hockey is not good enough for the NHL. I've seen me make that play many a times. Like, that is not a good one to make. Like, just like, I kind of have the puck. I want to get rid of it. I'm not sure where to go with it. I think I'm going to pass it to somebody. Let me just throw it over there. And then sure enough, it's a turnover into the back of your own net because Andersen fell down or something. I wasn't entirely sure if he even knew where the puck was. And it's just like you can't make beer league plays like that.
In elimination games in the second round of the NHL playoffs against the New York President's Trophy Cup winning Rangers, or President's Trophy winning Rangers.
When you're up 2, like the Canes gave the Rangers 2 goals yesterday. Gave them 2, and it was their first 2.
I'm frustrated by everybody that's saying, like, oh, the games were a coin flip and could have gone either way. It's not. Sometimes there are individual plays that could have gone either way. The game is not entirely random. A coin flip is entirely random. But even a shot that puck luck is a thing, right? The puck isn't like a sphere. So if it hits the post, which way it goes, sure, that's a little puck luck. I get it. Bouncing off a skate, that's unintentional. It goes, that's puck luck. I get it. But the puck being on that zone, right? The shot being taken, it not being blocked before it got there, the amount of possession, how often it is where you're getting opportunities to get lucky. All of that plays into it, right? It's the Yogi Berra-ism, and I don't even know if Yogi actually said it, right? Yeah, the game's a lot of luck, but isn't it funny how the good teams always get lucky?
Yeah.
It's because you put yourself in those positions. It's not completely random. And if the last 2 series, the Canes got eliminated. Overtime, 1 goal, overtime, 1 goal, 1 goal. At a certain point, you have to look at how you're playing in those close games and why you're so often coming out on the other side of them.
There's a common denominator in all those.
What is that?
Canes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to blow our minds with, like, the common denominator is Sebastian Aho doesn't forecheck or something like that. I thought you had the secret elixir.
If you look at last year losing in 4 games to the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals and the 4 losses in this series, 8 losses, 9 goals. 8 losses by 9 goals.
Yep.
Like, and we'll take away the empty netter if you want to because it was an empty netter, but I always say empty netters are also earned. They count. But 8 losses by 9 goals and 4 of them in overtime. Multiple of those overtimes and multiple overtimes. Like, there's something that they're not reaching. It's right there. Like, it's literally like a fingertip away, but you can't quite touch it. It's like, I'm close right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you golf. You're a big golfer, right?
It's
like you make the putt, and it's like kind of near the edge of the cup, right? You're sitting there, you're like, well, I'm close, but you know it's still a stroke on your card, right?
I usually go, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's like, it's within a club's length. Count it.
That was good. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I putted that out. That was good from the beginning.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
But that's where they are, and it's a
Canes
danger.
probably wish they could.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a dangerous spot to be in because you are so close, but yet you're not getting right there. So it's like, how willing are you to make a change to get over that line?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I know it's a few minutes early, but I want to give everybody their shot. We're going to open up the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. We want your fiery takes, right? We want your big takes. There's plenty of time to hash out, do you give Gensel $8.2 or $8 million a year in his offer this offseason? We have plenty of time to hash that out. We want your bigger, fiery, more bold takes right now about the Canes season coming to a close. 919-860-5326. We want to hear from you. I have one that we'll get to. I believe Dennis has one that we'll get to. But more importantly, we want to hear from you, right? The Canes are the Triangles team, and we want to hear your take. So 919-860-5326.
It's the state's team.
True.
The full state.
Well, not South?
No, it's full state.
Full North Carolina.
Yes.
Even though they're just the Carolina Hurricanes. Anyway, Rich in Raleigh is on the call-in line. We'll go to him first. Rich, give us your Canes take now that we know the season's come to a close.
So I loved watching the Canes this season. They had a great team. It was a tremendous team again during the regular season. Problem is, you get to the playoffs, and there you are. There's problems with teams that don't do well in the playoffs. It's either the coaching or how the team's constructed. I mean, you look at the Celtics, what they've done over the last 6 or 7 years, or haven't done in the playoffs. I mean, the Canes have to decide what kind of team they are, and we can talk about if it's Frederik Andersen's fault or not, which it's not Frederik Andersen's fault. He's just one guy who played badly, like the whole team who played badly. The Hurricanes did not play well against the Islanders. They played like one period a game against the Islanders. Just the fact that the Islanders suck that bad, they could win on one period a game. But you cannot play the Rangers, those fucking smirking Rangers.
Buddy, you got to go. You got to go. Can't talk like that. Appreciate the passion, but we're on radio here. What I will say is
dump button works, by the way.
There you go. Good work. Excellent reaction time. I think certain Canes might have needed Dennis's reaction time on that one.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate the passion.
Like I said, appreciate
the
passion.
That'll be on YouTube. That's fine.
You got to reel it in just a little bit on radio. But we'll leave the phone line open, 919-860-5326. Since there was a dump button there, obviously that means the caller said a word you can't say on radio.
Yeah, for those who listen on radio, like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
You say a word that starts with a letter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those you can't say on radio. He was very upset with the Canes.
Actually, the YouTube comments, people that were listening said, one guy, Ryan, said, man, he was cooking, though.
Hey, he was
talking about Rich was cooking.
Felt like he was revving up.
Rich was.
Rich
like,
was
hey, throttle down here, cuz.
Again, he was, working up into third and fourth gear. But again, 919-860-5326 if you want to a slightly more reeled-in version of a passionate speech, we'd love to hear it. When it comes to, it's not all Freddie's fault, as somebody that played one of these positions, there are certain positions in sports that if things go wrong, you're getting the blame. Goalie's one of them. Is it all his fault? No. Is he just one guy? Yes. If things go wrong, is the goalie going to have to wear a lot of it? You're aware of that going in, right? I played quarterback in college. It's the same thing, right? Ball bounces off the receiver's hands, gets intercepted. You're going to be the one answering questions about it in the postgame, not the receiver. And you know that going in. You know that going in. So was it all Freddie's fault? No. Did he do enough? Did he have enough poor execution that he probably doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to hey, it's not all me? That's probably true too. Let's go to Will in Chapel Hill. Will, thank you for calling in. Everyone else listening, you can as well. 919-860-5326. Will, what's your reaction to the Canes season coming to a close?
Hey guys, I get not putting the blame on Freddie, but I just have a hard time not doing that. It's just, if you switch goalies, we win that series in 5.
Ooh.
And yeah, every team is going to make some mistakes on the ice, but that's why every team that makes a run in the playoffs has a goalie that can bail them out. And yeah, he did bail us out a lot in the Islanders series, made some amazing saves, but I can't pick one save last night from Freddie that was a great save, and Shesterkin had 5 or 6 moments like that. And I think that game would have been different if we had Kochetkov in, especially the 4th goal that they had when it just went right across the blue paint there. I feel like Kochetkov would have knocked that out of there, but Freddie just kind of sat back and let the play happen. I think we got to move on from Freddie.
I appreciate the call, Will. I'm going to respond a little bit to that, but call back in any time. I do think it's unfair to compare them to Igor, just because Igor is one of those few dudes. If you think you need an Igor to win a Stanley Cup, then you have to make priority number 1 in the franchise finding that guy. Or, I mean, if you think it's Pyotr Kochetkov, and it might be, he's still so young and unproven and raw. But saying, he didn't play as well as Igor Shesterkin. That's a high bar to judge somebody off of.
And you don't have to play as well, like at that like elite high level necessarily.
You just can't have the lows.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have the dips.
Yep, I agree. Alex in Durham, you're next up on the call-in line, 919-860-5326. Alex, thank you for calling in. Give us your Canes take as the season ends.
Disappointed, obviously, but a good segue off of the last caller. Feels like the past 3 seasons, our season has ended to a better goalie. And yes, they might be top 4, top 5 in the league. Tampa's goalie, I forget, Bobrovsky last year, and then Igor this year. It just seems like we need to make a change at goalie, and it might be Piotr. But right now, it just seems we run up against that buzzsaw of the goalie that can bail you out, and we just don't have that right now.
All right, Alex, let me flip it on you real quick. Is it Piotr?
He's young. I'd rather go get somebody that's more tried and true, but there's also it's not like you can just go out there and trade for an Igor or a Bobrovsky like you could for a center or a wide receiver. So it's a lot harder to fill that hole. I trust in our farm system and our I guess recruiting's not the right word, but
roster development.
It very much well could be Piotr.
All right, appreciate the call, Alex. I'll give you my hot take here. I think if they rotate Piotr and Freddy throughout the postseason like they were doing in the regular season, they're still playing. I think there's a lot of games where the goalie didn't matter, meaning whichever one it was didn't matter. And if Freddy was playing like he was at the end of the regular season, and if Piotr got to how he was playing maybe a little bit before that, I think they can steal you a game. I think if they would have rotated, as I was advocating for at the time, I think they're still playing. Let's get a take from Lonnie and Gardner. Lonnie, are you there? And if so, what's your Canes take?
Thought it was a great season as usual, and the playoffs were great. But I'm kind of like you. I kind of think they should have rotated the goalies.
Yep.
Other than that, a very heartbreaking loss, and the team's getting ready to get shook up a little bit, and we'll see what they bring in. But I believe in Rod, and I think he's a great coach. And I think, as everybody has said, I believe it's to go. I think he let too many soft goals go through both series.
You brought up Rod. We haven't even talked about this yet, and partially because I think the deal gets done. But how does it make you feel that Rod's about to be a free agent?
He won't be.
That's kind of why we haven't talked about it. We're an hour and a half into the show, but
they're going to work something out. I mean, they're going. They were in the playoffs. Come on, they're not worried about the money one way or another. They're not going to let Rod go. I mean, he has brought this team from the ashes and turned it into the Phoenix.
There you go, Lonnie. Appreciate the call. That is Lonnie. We hadn't brought that up, but technically Rod Brindamore's contract expires this offseason, and it is now the offseason, right? As of yesterday after the game. So that might be something we talk about in a couple weeks if we don't see progress being had. We have Edward and Wendell next up on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, which remains open, 919-860-5326. Edward, thank you for calling in. What do you have to say about the Canes?
I feel like it was our special teams. The penalty kill was okay, not as it was in the regular season, and the power play was just awful. 2 shorthanded goals is not good.
It is not. That's a fantastic point. I think you're seeing the full ice here. I think you're seeing the full game. Edward, who's just because I'm assuming can kind of tell you're a little bit younger. Who's your favorite player?
Seth Jarvis.
Seth Jarvis. So this offseason, one of the main priorities becomes making sure that guy's a Cane for the next 7 or 8 years?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Edward, we appreciate you for calling in, and thank you for listening. Great call. You did a great job.
You're welcome.
once again, Edward on the
Spitting
Heister
facts
Automotive
over
Group
here is
hotline.
Edward.
Measured, well-researched. That's a future GM right there.
Seriously.
And also, favorite player, Seth Jarvis. I think if you were to poll, fifth graders across the triangle, I think Seth Jarvis is a lot of their favorite players.
Might be up there.
And I think that means, for selling all the jerseys, get that guy a 7-year contract, put his jersey all over the eye and all over the website, and just print money.
Hey, you can make it 8.
You can, hey, that's fine.
You can make it 8.
I was just using a generic long-term contract number. 8 would be good with me too. Jeff and Raleigh, quickly here. We're running out of time in this segment, but I want to make sure we get the guys that have been waiting for a while. Jeff and Raleigh, what's your Canes take? Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I just wanted to share with you a couple different ideas. One being, I played goalie in West Virginia, about an hour from Pittsburgh, and we used to take all-star games to Pittsburgh, so it was pretty competitive, and I had a playoff game where I had a shutout with 55 saves, so I know how important goaltending is in the playoffs. So basically, I'm not blaming Freddy, but basically they have a goalie in Cooch that probably is their guy going forward. He could be that guy.
All right.
They don't need wholesale changes. They need to bring some of these younger guys aboard, make the right choices of what free agents to pay, and just keep on coming.
All right, Jeff, the one thing I will say is whether they need wholesale changes or not, some of them are going to be forced upon them just by contract situations. Like, changes will happen because you can't afford everyone. But thank you for the call.
All right, man.
And last one here. We'll go quickly. Matthew in Durham, because you were waiting so patiently, I want to get you on, but try to make it quick if you can. What's your take on the Canes?
Oh man, I think the core as a whole is good. And I think we have our goalie in Piotr.
All right.
If he has all the talent in the world, like they said, why not give him a chance next year?
I'm with
he
you.
won't get the experience if he doesn't get the time.
When you say you have a good core, like Aho, Svetch, Jarvis, is there anybody else specifically you're thinking of there?
Well, hopefully they can add Gensel to that core. But yeah, I mean,
Slavin,
Svetch, Aho, Jarvis. That's a solid core right there.
Very much so. Very much so. Matthew, appreciate the call.
Thanks for the signed puck, by the way.
Oh, there we go. Must have won something at some point in time. We give away a lot of signed pucks this year. Here's what I'm picking up from everybody. Piotr's got a little support, but I'll also say this: backup quarterback, always the most popular guy on the team. Backup goalie, probably pretty similar, right? You make every single save that you possibly can when you're sitting in a baseball hat on the bench. Piotr is I'm a big fan. Don't get me wrong, and I love Pokechekov. I love when he gets aggressive, but it's a tough spot for anybody to step into being expected top of the line goalie. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry, specifically their Fox and Bailey watch shop and their brand new Omega Boutique. You go into Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh at their Village District location. You turn left, you walk all the way to the corner, and what do you get? You get to see the brand new Omega Boutique, the second largest Omega Boutique of its kind in the entire country. The thing about Omega is just Omega is iconic, right? Just the brand, just having Omega on your watch, on your dial is iconic. And then on top of that, each of their models has their own iconic kind of presence. The Omega Seamaster, that's iconic from its place in movies on the wrist of a particular movie spy. The Omega Speedmaster is iconic because it's the Moonwatch, right? It's NASA trusts it to help the astronauts on the moon. It's been worn on the moon. Something like the Constellation or the DeVille just looks iconic. It's classy. It's a dress watch. You want to check them all out. It's at the Omega Boutique located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Raleigh's Village District location, in their Omega Boutique on the left side, Fox and Bailey Watch Shop on the other. But you want to check it out, and you want to make sure they know we sent you. Let them know that you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan, listening to The Drive. We have real bold predictions coming up. We're doing a Hurricanes offseason edition. That's next. Stick around.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar. Today's review, the best ever Big Mac burger. Take it away, Hamburglar.
Rubble, rubble.
He said, there's more special sauce in every bite.
Rubble, rubble.
He said, rubble, rubble.
Rubble, rubble.
Rubble, rubble indeed, my friend.
Save on a Big Mac and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus get any size Diet Dr. Pepper for $1.29.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Available at most restaurants in this area. Valid for product of equal or lesser value.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You guys do so many things. Windows, doors, siding, gutters, awnings, roofing.
Roofing is the most important part of your home. You want to make sure you keep the water out. Our roofing products made by Certainty, the shingle roofing, it comes in a lot of different colors, a lot of different styles, but it has a 50-year, 5-star warranty on all material and labor, backed by the manufacturer. It's non-prorated.
I've never heard of a 50-year warranty. I always hear like 20 or 30.
Unless a tree hits the house or you have some storm damage, it'll be the last roof you ever put on your home.
I like that. What about metal roofing?
We do a lot of metal roofing. We got the standing seam, comes in a lot of different colors, and it'll last forever, but it doesn't have the 50-year warranty like the shingled roofing does.
Sounds like you're pushing shingle roofing, which you should, probably.
It's affordable, and again, it's hard to beat because it's really the last roof you'll have to pay to put on your home.
Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with Upfit Solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed Upfit Solutions from Van Products.
The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way. With same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200. That's right, $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces and get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend for coverage of the PGA Championship. This music
You weren't ready for that one, were you?
Music is killing me today. Here's the current leaderboard from Valhalla. Colin Morikawa in first. He is at 11 under. Xander Schauffele, who is Still in the 6th hole in the second round. Morikawa's already done for the day. Xander Schauffele 10 under in second. There is a 3-way tie for third between Thomas Dietrich, Scottie Scheffler, who had some legal issues earlier this morning, which I'm sure you've heard about.
We'll recap that.
And Mark Hubbard. They are all 9 under par. PGA Championship updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of eastern North Carolina, now part of the McConnell Golf footprint, spanning from the mountains to the coast. I don't know why I got the giggles a little bit here. Let's go ahead and jump into bold predictions. These are all bold predictions for the Canes offseason. I have to be honest, I had a hard time coming up with bold predictions. I think they're going to kind of stay down the middle, but let's see if this works. Bold prediction, Jake Gensel is the second highest paid Hurricane next season. That means he's making more than 7.75, which is what Svech and Orlov are making. Jalen Chatfield, back in the Canes, 3-year, $9 million deal. 3-year, $9.5 million deal. 3-year, $10 million deal?
I think he gets 4 years.
He's older than you think.
He's 27.
28.
Hey, he just turned 28, that's right.
So, older than you think. I love how we this happens, again, annoyingly, because I'm a fantasy football nerd. We don't take into account, like, whether you just turned 28 or you're, like, 4 days away from your 29th birthday. It's like, wow, you're 28, you're old. It's like, just all we care about is the number rather than, there's not a huge difference between 27 and 11 months and 28 in 1 month, but it feels like a big difference.
It's funny when you see NBA, like, draft projections and things like that, like 19.3 years old. I'm like, okay.
It does make sense, though, because they're not all the same. I think Chatfield is back. I think the postseason actually earned him some cash.
And he might be a top 4 defenseman for the Carolina Hurricanes next season.
I would not be surprised if Chatfield and Orlov are their second defensive pair. How about this? Brett Pesce and Brady Shea get $85 million combined on 6-year deals from other teams.
$85 million combined on 6-year deals from other teams? Yeah.
I have it broken up as Shea 6 years, 45.
I think he might get more than that.
And Pesce 6 years, 40. So if you think he's going to get more than that, then you have to think Pesce's going to get less, or else that's not a bold prediction.
Yeah. Well, I think I was actually thinking Pesce might get a little bit less.
Okay.
I was thinking Pesce might get if he gets a 6-year deal from another team, he might be coming at a clip of about $5.5 million a year.
Okay.
So that's under 40.
Yep.
And then I was actually thinking Brady Shea might get over 8 per year.
Okay, so
I was thinking like the breakdown a little bit different. I think someone will overpay for Brady Shea. And when I say overpay, pay higher than projected or market to get him.
Somebody will break the bank for Brady Shea.
I mean, here's the thing. Brady Shea can obviously play on the power play, kill penalties, can skate for days. He's a great skater, and he puts up a lot of points. At least he's done that the past few years. It's like, hey, wait, we can get production on our blue line and consistency. Yes, someone's going to pay Brady Shea. And here's the thing with Shea as well, is because he's such a good skater, his game will age well. Because I know he's 30 years old, his game will age well.
And I know he has a little bit of the salt and pepper rocking.
Yeah.
Not actually that old.
No,
he's 30 years old, so sometimes seems older than he is.
He's like Jacob Slavin. Like Jacob Slavin's game will age well because he's such a good skater and such a great stick handler. His game will age well. Some guys, just based on how you play, have a lot more physicality or rely on it more. That game, their game wears down a lot faster.
Bold predictions here. Jordan Martinook back on the Canes. 2 years, $6 million? Jordan Martinook back on the Canes. And Jesperi Kotkaniemi back on the Canes. I don't know how. I just think it's going to be tough to move that contract.
Real hard.
Not for lack of trying. I think he's back on the Canes. This one I hope is not true. Okay, this is not me saying I would do this. I'm saying I think it could happen. I think the Rod Brindamore contract gets uglier than any of us want, more dramatic than any of us want. I think it drags on longer than any of us want.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
That's your bold prediction? I mean,
the consensus seems to be like, oh, it'll get done, and now they have nothing but time to get it done. So it feels like it should be done like today. I think it's going to drag on. I think it's going to be tough. All right, then how about this? I think it's going to drag on. I think it's going to be tough. I think he's going to get $5 million a year. I think he's worth it. I think he's going to get it here or somewhere else. And I think it'll just take Tom Dundon a while to recognize and make it happen. And it's a lot of money, but I think Rod Brind'Amour is worth it. And there you go.
That's a bold prediction, and in the fact that I think his last extension was like for $1.8 million a year.
Yeah, but it's not just comparing it to what he was. It's not like, professional athletes and professional sports coaches aren't like the rest of us where we're like, I'd like a 10% raise on what I was already making. Like, the market sets how much you make. And if you're one of the best coaches in the NHL, you don't look at what you were making. You look at what the best coaches in the NHL are making. And I think that's going to be, $4.5 million. Little bold prediction right there. Here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We, as Dennis teased, we have to explain a little bit more about what's going on with Scottie Scheffler. We have to break down a little bit more what happened with the Canes and more coming up in the starting five right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Golf's second major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the PGA Championship in Louisville, Kentucky.
And Brooks Koepka wins the PGA Championship.
Find out if Brooks Koepka can go back-to-back or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates. Coverage of the PGA Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows, along with no interest for 5 years. Plus, bonus savings when you schedule a consult today. If your windows leak, get foggy or hot, or you're paying high utility bills, that's a big deal. With Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal, too. Schedule a no-obligation in-home estimate. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. Feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
Looking for the best deals in golf? Then don't miss Global Golf in Raleigh for their 3rd annual anniversary sale. This week, receive an additional 20% off your entire order. Plus, check out the latest apparel, shoes, bags, and more. Ready to upgrade your bag? Trade in any of your current clubs and pick from Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf clubs. So swing by Global Golf, located in North Raleigh at 7320 ACC Boulevard for the 3rd annual anniversary sale. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK10 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Whether it's the Hurricanes and their push for a 2nd Stanley Cup or the first-year travails of Bryce Young and the Panthers, you get all of that and more in the Best of the Adam Gold Show, brought to you by Coach Pete at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Visit us at capitalfinancialusa.com.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here. As you know, so much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. These walls provide an intimate space for all of the small moments that bring us together as a family, the bonds that grow stronger year after year. And like any other relationship, your home requires the same love and attention. That's why I brought in Zero Res to clean the carpets in my house from all of the dust, dander my dog drags in, all of the crumbs my 3-year-old makes, and me too when I'm watching games. That is why you should trust in the power of Zero Res to care for your home. ZR water is tough on stains and dirt while still safe for you and your family and pets. Don't forget about your air ducts as well. This is the perfect time with allergy season, furnace and AC, efficiency, post-winter, and more. Just check out the 3,800 raving customer reviews online with a 4.8 Google rating. Visit ZeroResRaleigh.com to get 3 rooms of carpet Zero Resified starting at just $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan. Zero Res, spell it backward or forward, it spells the same, Zero Res.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBrian.com.
That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We've had a lot of clouds this afternoon, some showers possible. They'll continue into tonight, maybe even a thunderstorm, the low 66. WRAL weather alert day for your Saturday. Thunderstorms possible, some severe, the high temperature 78.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check if your money. Dow Jones up 134 points today to 40,003. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. Hour of the Drive brought to you by North Carolina Amateur Sports. The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The starting 5 served up by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Visit GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com. Congratulations, everybody, by the way. 5 o'clock on a Friday. You made it. You made it. If you're just working for the weekend, welcome.
Did it.
If you work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Let's go ahead and jump into the starting 5, starting with number 5. Canes lose game 6. Let's look at it. This one, the starting 5, number 5. Let's look at just game 6. Okay. Not the implications, not the stakes. Let's look at game 6, because game 6, like if that game were played in like December, still would be a kind of brutal watch, right? Because it'd still be a game that you were up 3-1 going into the third period. It would still be a game that both Svech and Aho had multiple points. It would still be a game that saw Martinook make a ton of winning plays. It would still be a game that all of that was wasted because you couldn't slam the door on your opponent and close them out at the end. That third period is about as frustrated as I can remember being watching a hockey game. I mean, it's especially because it was Chris Kreider every time. Mm-hmm. It was a bit of like, those moments back in the day where you're watching like the Lions and they had Calvin Johnson and you're like, they have no one else. Calvin Johnson has 10 catches. Somebody guard him. Like, it felt a bit like, your whole season rides on this. Just Chris Kreider, don't let him score in front of the net. And he's like, I'm just going to keep doing it. It's like, all right, fine. He's going to keep doing it. I'll be over here. See ya. Rod Brindamore was asked after the game if he felt like they lost control in the third period. Here's the head coach's answer.
We started out, actually, it was really good. We were going good, and then, obviously that goal was a tough one. You just can't happen. We know that. And then you can't give a team like that a goal, and I thought we gave them a couple, and that's that's really not good. And then the momentum changed a little, and then obviously took a penalty. And, you know, their top guys took over in the third once they got that one. And we had a couple chances. I think we had a breakaway in the third. Like, even when we were down one, we get it right in front all alone. And, you know, you got to give them credit. Their top guys stepped up when they needed to.
Got to give him credit. You know what he actually, after the game, Rod Brindamore, that little, obviously that one goal can't have it, can't let it get in. He actually, of the players and coaches in the locker room, hinted the most at, like, come on, Freddie.
Yeah, that's the second goal for the Rangers, the first by Kreider.
Yep.
That was one's like, can't let that happen.
Most of the players did the political coach speak thing and just kind of danced around it. Rod did give a little bit of like, come on, Freddie, can't have that one. And, you know, part of that is just it is what it is, right? Freddie needed to make one more play. And it wasn't the highest difficulty, right? It wasn't the highest degree of difficulty save in the world. He needed to make one more play. And, you know, we opened up the phone lines earlier today, and we heard from you, right? Most of those takes involved one player, Frederik Andersen, right? The fans that are calling in, the fans that are furious, the fans that are looking for a certain change by next year, a lot of them had to deal with Frederik Andersen.
Or you had Rich, who decided to, you know,
one period a game
drop
against the
nukes
Islanders.
here.
Just the fact that the Islanders suck that bad, they could win on one period a game. But you cannot play the Rangers, those murky Rangers.
Buddy, you got to go.
Yeah. Flaming arrows over here.
Yeah, he actually, you know what I will give Rich credit for? Two things. One, passion. Love it.
100%.
Two, the little bleep bomb there was aimed at the Rangers. That was not friendly fire.
Yeah, I know.
That was not, you know, at Freddy or at someone that made a mistake or at Stahl for the penalty. It was at the Rangers. That's the right place to aim those. What is that? That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
As I say often on this show, and as Dennis points out often on the show, I'm a golf nerd. I've been watching golf my entire life. Playing golf most of my life. I've never had a golf morning, and I didn't play today, but as a golf fan following the PGA Tour, I've never had a golf morning like I had this morning. I woke up to news that the number 1 golfer in the world by the official World Golf Rankings and the favorite to win a major had been taken away in handcuffs by the police on the road out in front of a major championship venue just about 4 hours before that number 1 ranked golfer was scheduled to tee off. That happened this morning. I thought it was like an Onion article or something. I'm like, because, by the way, I'm talking about Scottie Scheffler. Scottie has a reputation of like a squeaky clean goody two-shoes. So this happens. I'm very surprised. If you haven't heard the whole story, I'll give you the nuts and bolts of it, the Cliff Notes. There was a legitimate tragedy. I know there's going to be a lot of jokes. I've seen a lot of jokes on social media, but do not cross over. There was a legitimate tragedy. There was a fatal crash. A employee of one of the vendors at the tournament, I don't know the situation, but was a pedestrian either crossing the road or walking alongside of the road near the course. And there was a crash, a collision, and a truck hit the pedestrian, and the pedestrian lost their life. So that is a separate incident from what happened with Scottie Scheffler, but it is one that is extremely serious, and we pass, thoughts and support along to the family and the community of the person that lost their life. Separate to that, anytime there's a fatal crash, there's going to be police barricades, road closures. There's going to be investigations that have to take place. So that was taking place. Scottie Scheffler, a player, is used to being able to drive around the barricades at tournaments because that often happens, right? There's parking structures and security guards, and the players always just kind of buzz around. This is where we don't know what happened. We have a police report that we've seen, and we have limited comments from Scottie Scheffler, and we have Jeff Darlington, who I always thought of as an NFL reporter, happened to be in one of the cars behind Scottie Scheffler and got out and started recording some stuff with his phone. So we have this kind of piecemeal idea of what happened. But a police officer didn't think that Scottie was going where he told him to go, or wasn't stopping when Scottie should have been stopping, goes up to talk to him. There's an allegation that the police officer was dragged from Scottie's car for 5 to 10 yards. Either way, Scottie was pulled out of the car. He was handcuffed. He was taken away. He was brought to jail. He was put in jail. He was charged with 4 different charges. That probably isn't the right legal way to describe that, but there's second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief. There's some other traffic-related things, not obeying police officer rules and behind the wheel. That's real. And the craziest part about it, the whole event took place about 4.5 hours before his tee time. He made his tee time. He was released from jail under his own reconnaissance. He was picked up at the jail by the owner of the golf course, drove him over to the course, got there with about an hour to spare, ate some breakfast, hit the range, got out onto the course, shot 5 under. He's in the top 3 right now. In his post-round presser, I haven't gotten to watch it all because it happened while we were on air, but he did say, I had to do some pre-round stretching in a jail cell. That's a first for me.
Might be a first for just about anybody. Let's be real here.
I mean,
yeah. Did you have a good morning? Yeah, I got booked.
In there with somebody like from the drunk tank the night before. Somebody got caught boosting cars, and there's Scottie doing toe touches, getting ready to go play in the PGA Championship in a couple minutes.
Sorry, man. Just trying to simulate my backswing.
Yeah, can you tell me if my back arm is straight? Trying to get some more hip rotation. Can you help me out here? The other, I mean, again, the legal system is going to take care of that. The justice system, he's going to, guilt and innocence will be decided. I don't know what happened. I do know it is wildly impressive that he was able to lock back in on golf, which is a traditionally and stereotypically very difficult mental game to play 5 under golf, shot a 66, has himself in the top 3 of a major. With all of that, I'm sure, rattling around in his brain. I mean, if he's not human, if it's not like, 315 off the drive, I'm in the left fairway, okay, cool. And then for that 15-second walk to the ball you just hit, you're going, I wonder if I'm going to have to go to jail. Like, there's – I don't know. It's a golf day unlike anything I've ever experienced. And I've experienced a lot in golf. I'm a Tiger Woods fan. This is unlike anything I've ever experienced in golf. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
This actually happened yesterday, but we were a little Canes pregame heavy outside PNC. Cameron Sheffield, a college basketball transfer from Rice, has committed to Duke as Duke continues to rebuild their entire roster after everybody aside from Tyrese Proctor and Caleb Foster either left in the portal, graduated, or left to turn pro. So they bring in Rice transfer Cameron Sheffield. He has a 6-foot 6-inch wing with 2 years of eligibility left. Did not play last season. Sat out with an injury.
Okay.
So going back 2 seasons ago, averaged 7.6 points per game and 6.1 rebounds per game on 37% shooting from 3. That's the 2022-2023 season.
It's okay from behind the arc. It's okay. Like Harrison Ingram was 38% last year, 38.5 for UNC last year.
So a little below that.
So yeah.
Do you know what I didn't think of when Duke started rebuilding their roster?
Mm-hmm.
They were going to have to rebuild like the entire roster. And what I mean by that is like you're not going to convince some 5-star transfer that there's a bunch of minutes to go around on the Duke basketball team this year, especially once you bring in Sion James and you bring in a few other guys who are going to get minutes because they were one of the top transfers on the market. So you need to bring in somebody who might be a little cool with, hey, we might not need to play you 25 minutes a night. You might get 7 minutes a night. And there might be nights when you don't play, and maybe you can work your way into a role the following season, but we need you to be a depth piece.
We need you to be number 10.
Yeah. And they need those guys on the roster, just like, maybe not as important, but just like you need the guys that are going to play a ton. And that's where you might enter in a guy with 2 years of eligibility who sat out last year at Rice after averaging 7.6 points. Right, like he's not going to sway. It's not like, oh, now that they got Cameron Sheffield, they're going to go from number 7 in the way too early top polls to number 1. Like, that's not going to happen. He's just not going to be asked to make that kind of an impact. But you also want your roster to be as strong as possible from top to bottom. This is a guy that comes in with veteran ability. For lack of a better term, he can bring some professionalism to a very young roster that they're going to have with some veterans, but the number 1 recruiting class in the country, 6 guys coming in there. It's an interesting fit, right? When Mark Mitchell and TJ Power and Sean Stewart and all these guys hit the transfer portal, you knew that Duke and John Shire were going to have to rebuild their roster. But what you thought of was, where are they going to get the contributor, right? Where are they going to get the rim protector? Where are they going to get the additional ball handler? What you didn't think of was, where are they going to get number 10 on their rotation? Well, maybe they just got it in Cameron Sheffield. And maybe he'll surprise everybody, right? Taking a year off. Maybe he's developed a whole bunch, and John Shire has some back channel little birdies that popped up and said Sheffield's a top-line player and nobody knows about it. Maybe he's a diamond in the rough. Maybe he's a guy that's hopefully not dependent upon much this year by Duke.
By the way, looking at Duke's roster for this upcoming year, I think the shortest person is 6'5".
Yep.
And those would be Tyrese Proctor and Caleb Foster.
But
like,
and
they look like it, like in terms of height, that's an NBA roster.
Mm-hmm. And you might even say that's like, it's a tall NBA roster.
Yeah, you're like 6'5", couple 6'6", 6'7", 6'9", a 7-footer, 6'10", 6'11", 7'2".
You know what this means?
What?
You know what
That's
this means?
That's the Hornets.
Switch everything.
Oh, defensively, yes.
Positionless basketball.
Yes. Like, have fun guarding that.
You're going to play teams whose, post players are 6'8" or 6'9". Your point guards are going to be like, yeah, I'll guard him. Especially if it's someone like Sion James, who's just coming in from Tulane, another transfer, because his body is built like a fullback, like a 6'6" fullback, which is like he'll be able to do the Draymond Green thing and guard 3, 4, 5 inches above him. I honestly didn't think Caleb Foster was that tall, but maybe it's just because by comparison. But yes, with Sheffield being another 6'6" wing, switch everything. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
College Football 25, the video game, put out their trailer today.
Yeah, trailer. They put out the cover yesterday, if I remember correctly.
There's 3 cover athletes. It is Donovan Edwards, the running back from Michigan, Quinn Ewers, the quarterback from Texas, and I'm blanking on his name. From
Travis Hunter?
There you go.
From Colorado.
I wanted to call him Travis Parker, but that's not who it is. Travis Hunter from Colorado, the two-way player. One of the best players in the country, one of the top draft prospects for next year in the country. In the trailer, I watched it like frame for frame. There are two instances of teams from the state of North Carolina popping up in the trailer. There's a bunch of Wyoming for some reason.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Clemson, like a ton of Clemson.
Yeah. Boise State's like right at the very beginning.
Boise State's at the beginning. The 2 instances are you have Duke running out of the tunnel at Wallace Wade. So Duke football getting a little hype love.
Yeah.
And App State is returning the kickoff. Like the whole thing kind of builds to this kickoff in the middle of the trailer. Wyoming kicks it off because of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then App State returns it. And they get like different angles on this return. There's a stiff arm. App State's kind of featured. Maybe it goes back to the Michigan upset. Does App State have like a weird national following?
They're known. Thought
I also thought
College Game Day went there this past year.
That's true. Big upset at Texas A&M not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought of this maybe. Like everybody in college football video games and college basketball and college anything video games, you do like to take like a mid-major team and turn them into a powerhouse.
Oh, that's the fun of that game.
That's for the dynasty mode.
Yeah, how far can I take Tulane?
Yeah, I was big on Louisiana Monroe back in the days when I was playing video games more.
Oh, yeah.
And college basketball is Fairleigh Dickinson. It's just the two teams I always picked. Do you think a lot of people from like California are picking App State just because it's kind of right? The colors are cool.
Mm-hmm.
The A on the logo, it's a good logo.
They might.
They know of them because of the upsets that they've pulled off. And it's kind of cheating because you're not exactly starting at square one because they're already kind of a good program.
I mean, I could see it. I mean, here's the thing. If I get the game and I do a dynasty mode, I'm like, I want to choose a group of 5 school.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what I can do. I might choose ECU or App or Charlotte if that's the case.
Yeah.
Like, go that route.
Also, I'm like way too excited for this for somebody who I know. Like, I know I'm not going to play this game at all.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I don't have a system. Like,
That's
I don't.
Also on you.
I have a PS3. Is this going to come out in PS3?
Probably not.
I have a Nintendo 64. Is this going to come out?
Nice. No, but it won't.
It won't come out in. There's like I'm not going to go
get the Rumble pack.
I'm not. I'm not going to go buy a system just for this game. Especially I don't have time to play. But do you know what I'm really excited for? Middle schoolers.
Yeah.
I feel like I peaked my NCAA football video game playing at like 12 or 13 years old. You and your buddies get together. There's like pizza and soda, and you play. It used to be Option Attack. You remember Option Attack,
Mm-hmm.
where you just played a little mini game so you could lose faster and get off the sticks, and everyone would rotate in. And then eventually you would start playing the game, and you'd put a cornerback at quarterback, so you had a fast guy. You'd run the option. Like NCAA football was awesome. I'm hoping college football is just as awesome for the next generation. Right, because if you play football at recess, then you play football after school in like your neighborhood, and then the sun goes down. What are you going to do? Go inside and play football. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
We talked about Game 6 being a loss for the Canes. Now you have to go bigger picture. The Carolina Hurricanes season is over. Has it set in for you yet, Dennis? Or does it still feel like, hey, we got a game tomorrow?
It hurts.
Part of me, I always say when you stop playing football, like your career is over, you don't notice until the next August.
Yeah.
Because your like circadian rhythm is saying it's time to go do 2-a-days. And instead you're like, no, actually I can go to the beach again for another like 3 weeks. I didn't know this period on the calendar existed. I'm not sure the Cane season being over is going to hit until it's like Saturday there's no game, and then Sunday there's no game, and my rhythm is saying like, no, we're supposed to have a preview to do here. There's supposed to be something I'm looking forward to, and you're just not. This offseason is going to hit the Canes like a ton of bricks, if it hasn't already, right? The expiring contracts of guys that have been loyal and long-term Canes and core parts of this rebuild, Brett Pesce, Brady Shea, Jordan Martinook. Like, these are names, and amongst others, these are names that have been a big part of the build, and it might be the tough decisions to move on from. And the cap is forcing the issue. You know, we opened up the phone lines earlier today. We had a caller. I think his name was Jeff. Pardon me if it's wrong and if your name wasn't Jeff, but he said, like, I don't see the need for whole-scale changes. I don't see the need for big shakeups. And my response was, it's not necessarily a choice, right? You may think, hey, a couple breaks here or there, the Canes win the cup this year, we should run it back with the same group. It's not always possible, right? Certain times, and it's, a credit to your team, guys get more expensive when they play well. Guys get more expensive when they develop. Seth Jarvis isn't going to be on an entry-level contract forever. Brady Shea is going to demand $40, $45, $50 million over a 6 or 7 year contract. There's not always space within the cap to take care of your own, which is why it is so important to keep the farm system cranking, keep your development system cranking, keep drafting well. Guys like Scott Morrow, guys like Bradley Nadeau are going to be depended upon sooner rather than later, and you have to pick which one of the core guys you want to keep around. You know, the Dmitry Orlov is expensive. Jake Gensel, if you want to bring him back, is going to be expensive. These are new guys being added in to the group, and that's going to come at a cost.
It's not just this year, too. You got to think in the fact that Jacob Slavin's going to be in the final year of his contract, too. What do you do with him? Orlov has, like you just mentioned, 1 year left on his deal. Is he just going to play out this 1 year, then you're just going to move on? There are a lot of decisions that have to be made. A lot.
Sebastian Aho talked about it being harder watching this one end, knowing roster changes are coming.
Special group. I mean, just hopefully we'll stay same as possible. But we had, like I said, special group, and thought we had everything that we need to get over the hump, and yeah, it sucks.
That as possible covers so much. Want to stay as similar as possible.
I was standing in that group of media when asked that question, and he was visibly getting emotional thinking about it. Just like that group clearly love each other. They knew they had something there, and they didn't get it done. And I think they realized it's like, wait, we had this chance with this group, and this is what we were all hoping for, and we didn't get it done.
That's brutal for a team leader. And by the way, you want them wearing it, right?
Yeah. Oh.
You want them upset. It's the appropriate feeling.
Jordan Stahl was the last guy to take his skates off in the locker room. Like, he was still sitting there when he was talking to media. Everyone else is already undressed and everything. He was still sitting there in his pants, shin guards, skates, all still on.
Did you hear him saying out loud, "Why did I cross-check?" Why?
He was asked about that, and he was kind of like, yeah.
He said I was the idiot in the box. He used the term idiot, not me there. That's about going to – oh, Dennis has something for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, might have a lot of free time coming up here in the very near future. Well, you're probably thinking of different ways I can get outside, probably maybe reduce some stress, maybe just get active outdoors a little bit more, because when you're outdoors and you're being active and you're doing something, it does a few things for you health-wise. It's good for yourself mentally to kind of unwind a little bit from the stresses of daily life and the workload that we have in terms of our work lives. It also just lowers your stress levels when you're outside in natural settings. All these good health benefits that come from being outdoors. And if you want to do that, have those health benefits, why not also go to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School? That's something that Deep River Sporting Clays can give you while you're out there shooting clays. They have a beautiful 65-acre area, natural setting. There are 13 targets on the course. You're walking. I've walked the course myself. It's nothing hilly. It's nothing crazy like that. It's about a mile long, maybe. And guess what? You're outdoors. You're doing an activity. It's a lot of fun. And every single time I've left Deep River, I have feeling great. Had a blast. It was a wonderful time with friends and family. It's a great time. So if you want to get away from the stresses of your daily life and have a lot of fun while doing it, look no further than Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. But also, real quick, Father's Day is about a month away, guys. Looking for something for dad or to do with dad or do for dad? Deep River. Great place to take somebody. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs a couple of numbers game contestants. We have a pair of tickets to see Nick Swardson, Toilet Head, at Carolina Theater of Durham on Friday, November 8th. He's a stand-up comedian. The name of his tour is Nick Swardson, Toilet Head. You've seen him in movies. He's in a bunch of stuff with Adam Sandler. If you want to win the pair of tickets, you have to call in right now, 919-860-5326. And then you have to be one of two contestants on the numbers game, and you have to win. Again, the number to call in, 919-860-5326. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Are you a big rock, paper, scissors person?
Absolutely.
Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Man,
Best of three. Ready?
You can't change the rules.
Why not?
All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, he got me. He got me.
And she put the rock. Yes.
Oh, I thought he'd go scissors again.
It really is a psychological game.
Unsportsmanlike. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat Show only savings, discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission, and parking.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
At Ram, all we do is trucks. And now during Ram season, all we do is offer great deals on our trucks, including Ram 2500 and Ram 3500 heavy-duty pickups. Or get a great deal and drive home the 2024 Ram 1500. It's the most luxurious Ram 1500 ever, based on standard and available features offered. Ram 1500 also has purpose-driven technology and advanced safety and security features for enhanced maneuverability. And right now during Ram season, it's the perfect time to get one. Hurry to your local Ram dealer today. Ram is a registered trademark.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It is playoff time. NHL, NBA, and baseball is in full swing. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P, and sign up. Then you can bet on everything from slap shots to slam dunks to home runs, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So get started today. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, P-A-U-L, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time to play the numbers game. Here on the numbers game, we have to give away a pair of tickets to see Nick Swardson Toilet Head. That's never going to be normal to say. Nick Swardson Toilet Head, stand-up comedian, going to Carolina Theater of Durham on Friday, November 8th. We have a couple of contestants here on the line, on the phone lines, getting ready to duke it out in the numbers game. Evan in Morrisville, and Christian in Wake Forest, that is. We'll start with Evan in Morrisville. The question that we ask every Friday, and then we pick our favorite answer to see who goes first, is what's the highlight of your upcoming sports weekend? What are you most looking forward to about your weekend? But it has to be sports related.
This weekend in particular, I would say Game 7 for Nuggets and Timberwolves.
Not a bad one. There's significantly less local stuff going on. So.
See, for a second, I thought Evan was going to troll us. Oh, Game 7, Kings. Oh, no, wait, go Rangers. I thought he was going to troll us there for a second.
Don't give anybody ideas.
I mean, I did.
Christian in Wake Forest, you're up next. What's the highlight of your sports weekend upcoming?
So my dad is also as well from Minnesota, and we're big Timberwolves fans, so we're really excited for Game 7.
What are the chances? Now, I do always, as kind of a rule, if two people give the same answer with the same enthusiasm, we go with whoever went first. But what are the chances? Two Minnesota Timberwolves Game 7, big fans. We'll go with Evan in Morrisville first, but Christian, you get to hang out, and you'll have your chance to win the game also. Mevin. It's a Friday. We're nearing the end of the show. I'm calling people named Evan from Morrisville Mevin. Evan, are you there?
Yes.
All right. Which category would you like? We have NFL McWhat, all players whose last name starts with MC. NFL He's the Mike, all players whose first name starts with Mike or Michael. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only?
Let's do NFL with the Mick.
All right. McWhat is the name of the category. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. LaShawn McCoy, Philadelphia Eagles.
28.
Incorrect. Jim McMahon, Chicago Bears.
9.
Correct. Jerick McKinnon, Kansas City Chiefs.
1.
Correct. Willis McGahee, Baltimore Ravens.
32.
Incorrect. LaShawn McCoy, Philadelphia Eagles.
21.
Incorrect. Willis McGahee, Baltimore Ravens.
Pass.
Gerald McCoy, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
28.
Incorrect. LaShawn McCoy, Philadelphia Eagles.
25.
Correct. Willis. Now, McCoy with the Eagles were both 29 and 25, so you did get the one that counts there. You got Jim McMahon with 9. You got Jerick McKinnon with 1. Willis McGahee, you just had to flip him. You said 32. The correct answer is 23. And Gerald McCoy with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's a big old 6-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle. He wore number 93. But
all right,
you got 3 with the McCoy under the gun there, under the wire. So sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
Awesome.
That brings us to Christian in Wake Forest. Christian, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Pick from the remaining categories. NFL, He's the Mike. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only?
Let's go Canes.
Let's go Canes. I like it. Even the first day of the offseason, we're going Canes. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. If you need a pass, you have one. And I will say the team name, even though we know the team name in this one, just because to keep it fair with the other categories. You need 4 to win. Any questions to get started?
I don't think so.
All right. The time will start when you hear the horn. Jake Gensel, Carolina Hurricanes.
19.
Incorrect. Paul Ranheim, Carolina Hurricanes.
12.
Incorrect. Jake Gensel, Carolina Hurricanes.
59.
Correct. Anthony Stewart, Carolina Hurricanes.
28.
Incorrect. Paul Ranheim, Carolina Hurricanes.
21.
Incorrect. Anthony Stewart, Carolina Hurricanes.
21.
Incorrect. Paul Ranheim, Carolina Hurricanes.
39.
Incorrect. Anthony Stewart, Carolina Hurricanes.
28. Crap.
The irony of what just happened. You said 28 for Anthony Stewart twice. Paul Ranheim was number 28. And you didn't give 28 for him, not even once. But you gave it for Anthony Stewart twice. You did get Jake Gensel with 59. Anthony Stewart, for those of you playing at home, number 13. But 1, not enough for the win. Hopefully you had a fun time playing, though, Christian.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh.
I mean, you earned it. I mean, you called in. You're one of the first two callers. You earned it.
No, actually, you're welcome.
Hey, you are welcome.
You're welcome. That's funny. That means the winner is Evan in Morrisville, a.k.a. Mevin. Evan, thank you for calling in. Thank you for playing, and congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, you get the tickets to see Nick Swartz and Toilet Head. Sit on the line, and Dennis will make sure you get those tickets, all right?
Great. Thank you.
There you go. We get to introduce a new thing we're doing. Dennis will get that info while I do it. There are, with it kind of timed out almost perfectly. So with the Canes ending yesterday, their season is done. We obviously have some off-season stuff to sort through, and we will. But there are 99 days until the college football season. 99 days. We're going to do 99 questions, which won't actually be 99. Every show, we're going to do a question. We're calling it 99 questions because it sounds better. 99 questions about the college football season that we will ask and answer before college football gets started. And we have 99 days to do it. We are looking forward to it. The question for today is NC State versus Tennessee in the Dukes Mayo Classic. Can NC State get the win? The answer, in short, you darn right they can. The NC State question for their football team, and we're going to talk about it throughout the offseason, is similar to what their basketball team has dealt with the last few years. Can they build the chemistry necessary with so many new faces to compete at the top of their talent level? Their talent level is going to be as high as darn near anybody's, right? And you might put a few of the juggernauts ahead of them. I'm fine with that. I don't see Tennessee being one of those juggernauts this year. So the question of can NC State hang with Tennessee? Can they win? The answer is yes. The question is, will they have enough time? Will their off-season work, their preseason work do enough to allow them to play up to their talent level so early in the season like they'll have to do in the Dukes Mayo Classic very early on? But in short, the answer is yes. As the 99 questions go along, we'll ask more difficult questions. We'll have more in-depth answers. We can debate. We can argue. We can do all of those things. But for the first one, we kept it kind of simple. The answer, yes. We'll be to our next of the 99 questions on Monday, so be sure to tune in for that. In the meantime, we have to make our picks before the weekend. I'm interested to see what Dennis sets up for us to actually pick this weekend, because it's you might have to get a little bit more creative without Canes games and college basketball and all the things we've used over the past few months. With that being said, we'll be back with making our picks next.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I have more windows in my house than doors, but if I wanted to change out windows, how long does this whole thing take?
So typical job, couple of days, 2-3 days, and that's complete. It's very unintrusive. A lot of these home improvement projects, it can take weeks or months. You can beautify your home. You can make it more energy efficient. You can make the windows that are a lot easier to use and clean, and you can do it quickly. It's 2 to 3 day job usually. 2 to 3 days. And how many different types of windows do you have? Where do I begin? We don't have that much time. We got colors, options. These things are custom made to your specifications, sized perfectly to fit the openings. Can you put a window where I don't have a window? We do it all the time. Unbelievable. Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com for windows, right? Absolutely. And doors.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar. Today's review, the best ever Big Mac burger. Take it away, Hamburglar. Rubble, rubble. He said, there's more special sauce in every bite. Rubble, rubble. He said, rubble, rubble. Rubble, rubble. Rubble, rubble indeed, my friend.
Save on a Big Mac and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus get any size Diet Dr. Pepper for $1.29.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Available at most restaurants in this area. Valid for product of equal or lesser value.
Wow, check out these new deals at John Heister Chevrolet on brand new 2024 vehicles. Like $5,000 off an Equinox LT, $6,000 off a Silverado 2500 High Country, and $7,000 off the Blazer RS. With a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in, get your hands on a 24 Colorado for $3,750 off, or a Silverado RST up to $11,000 off. John Heister Chevrolet even has the 24 Tahoe starting as low as $58,999. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. Together, let's drive.
The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the conference finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way. with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200. That's right, $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces and get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. With zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It is not often in this life that you can save both time and money and make your life better in the process. So here's how I'm going to save you time and money. We're getting rid of contact lenses, getting rid of glasses, getting rid of everything that goes along with them. Money, those things all cost a lot of money. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go to Dr. Lori Travers LASIK, and we're going to let her work her magic on us as she did on me. 5 minutes per eye, totally painless, back to work the next day. And here's the best part. We're going to give you $1,000 off. Go right now. Travers LASIK, Dr. Lori Travers, the only LASIK specialist in the Triangle. And by the way, 0% financing for 24 months is available. 919-510-6830. Make the call now. And on top of that, we can save $1,000 right now. All you got to do, go to TraversLASIK.com. The consultation is free. TraversLASIK.com. 919-510-6830 for Travers LASIK.
This hour of the drive brought to you by North Carolina Amateur Sports. The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Listen to 99.9 The Fan all weekend long for coverage of the PGA Championship. What is it, the songs today, Dennis?
I'm in my feelings, Tim.
This is what you listen to when you're sad?
Right now, yes. I'm not sad often.
I don't even know this song.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, it's don't lie. It's got a beat.
Yeah, you do. You just Olivia Rodrigo. You know what it is.
I genuinely would not have known that. Here's the current leaderboard from Valhalla. In first at the moment, Xander Schauffele. He's retaking the lead. He's 3 under on the day. Colin Morikawa, who played lights out in the morning wave for the down there in Louisville, is in second at 11 under, and the triumvirate in third place is still the same. Thomas Dietrich, Scottie Scheffler, and Mark Hubbard, 9 under par. They're all done for the day. Xander Schauffele, who's in first, still with 9 holes left to play.
I think Thigala is 9 under as well now.
Let me check.
That's what I'm seeing here on my television here.
Oh, then the television is more advanced in time than the internet is. So
you have 4 guys
tied for third. There you go.
And he's through 7, so he's still got a chance to really make some ground up here.
Tiger Woods is tied for 135th. He's had a rough go of it.
Hey, top 150.
6 over through 9 holes today, so he has 9 holes left to play.
That's all he has left.
He will not be seeing the weekend. Those of you maybe looking for Rory McIlroy, he's in 11th right now, as is Brooks Koepka. They are both 1 and 2 under on the day, 6 under on the tournament.
Okay.
So there you go. PGA Championship updates on 99.9 The Fan are teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina, now part of the McConnell Golf footprint spanning from the mountains to the coast. Tell you what, it must be a long week because I'm having a hard time speaking on a Friday.
Well,
So I'm going to turn over the controls here to Dennis, who's going to help us make our picks.
All right, first one. Let's go right to the PGA. Who wins? Give me your pick. Who wins this weekend? Is Scottie Scheffler even going to be able to play? Is he going to get arrested again? Okay, by the way, while you think about it, could you imagine during, let's say, on Sunday, he's on the course, and then he's going to get booked for more stuff, and they're going to arrest him. They just show up to the course. They're, waiting there on the 8th green. They're like, all right, Scottie, come on with us.
They know where he's going to be.
Exactly. They're just sitting there they're waiting on the 8th. Or they all right, man, we're going to let you finish a round. We're going to follow you, though.
I have to imagine he's going to have to deal with a lot of legal stuff starting on Monday. They probably told him don't leave the state.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't worry, don't plan on it. And then on Monday, he'll have to handle some things with a lawyer and all those.
Yeah, local magistrate will be back here for you on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna obviously, I would say Xander, Morikawa, and Scheffler are the favorites. I'm gonna go outside of that because they're already ahead. I think Rory's still got a shot. I think the course suits what Rory does. He could go nuclear on Saturday or Sunday and really chase someone down from behind. So I'm still leaning Rory. Give me Rory.
Okay,
Rory McIlroy.
Rory roars back here.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, see, I got things. All right, because our 2 contestants in the numbers game, which were Evan,
Nuggets, Timberwolves.
Yeah, Evan and Christian. We're all in on Nuggets and Timberwolves this weekend. Game 7 tomorrow. Hit me. Who you got?
I feel like Jokic is becoming one of those guys that every time you pick, not saying you never pick against him, but when you do pick against him and you're wrong, you feel like a dummy. Right? It's not like Mahomes wins every game, but if you bet against Mahomes and you lose that money, you're like, I deserve that. He wins way more than he loses. So I'm picking Denver. I'm picking Jokic. And if I lose, at least I'll be like, yeah, but I bet on Jokic.
Game 7 is in Denver.
And he's weirdly good at basketball. I saw someone
3-time MVP. Yeah, I'd say that.
I saw someone say that he plays basketball like he's playing in chest-high water, like he's in the pool.
Okay.
And he's playing with kids, so he's more dominant, but he's always kind of moving slow, and his elbows are always high, and he's shooting way back over his head. It's like he's playing pool basketball against 9-year-olds. It's just he's playing real basketball against the best athletes in the world. So, yeah, give me Jokic in Denver.
All right, actually, game coming up tonight. Knicks on the road at the Pacers. Knicks lead this series 3-2.
I think the Knicks close it out. I think the Knicks close it out.
Man, Madison Square Garden is going to be nuts over the next few weeks.
I really like the Villanova trio. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo for the Knicks. They won a national championship together at Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're playing together in the NBA. I think Indiana's getting better. They'll be better next year, and they'll continue to progress. Got some young guys that I really like. But the Knicks seem to have something working, so give me the Knicks.
Oklahoma City's at Dallas tomorrow. Dallas up 3-2 in that series. Game 6 at Dallas.
I think Dallas closes that one out.
I love watching Luka Doncic play basketball.
Luka, Kyrie, and
Derek Lively.
There it is.
That's my guy.
I know.
That's my guy.
I know.
I saved his shoe.
I do.
That's the reason why he's successful this season.
What if you tune into they make the NBA Finals, you tune into game 2 and he's wearing the shoes?
Bro.
They're probably not ones
Jordan
he's playing.
3s.
They're probably not ones
he's probably not wearing casual Jordan 3s.
Every once in a while, PJ Tucker will wear 3s or 4s, sometimes 1s in game.
Yeah.
But he's a true sneakerhead. I don't see Derek Lively being a 7-footer who 7-footers always have to be protective of their feet from injuries. I don't see him going let me try on the 3s, but it still would be cool.
Who gets the NBA Finals in your mind?
Ooh,
Denver. We don't really talk a whole lot of NBA.
Yeah, true. I think Denver makes it.
Okay.
My heart. Should I go with my heart?
Yeah, the Sixers. Yeah. Oh wait, just kidding.
Oh, that's a burn. In my heart, the Sixers are the second best team in the East. So that means the Knicks have to go.
The
right?
Knicks? Come on now.
Because that way, if the Sixers, it's chalky, but it's the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Knicks go, then I can still go to the offseason saying that the Sixers were the second best team in the East. They just ran into the first best team in the East very early.
I think I followed your logic there. We'll go with it.
There's two ways. Either if a team beats you, you root for them to get destroyed because you just want vengeance, or you root for them to win so you can say like, oh, we would have beaten everybody else. We ran into them early in the postseason.
Mm-hmm. So you're going Knicks and
Celtics.
Nuggets?
No, I'm going Celtics and Nuggets.
Celtics I think the winner of Game 7 between Nuggets and Wolves, they go out of the Western Conference.
I think, and Duke fans will appreciate this, I think there's a bit of a breakout coming for Jason Tatum. I watched
people are waiting for it.
I watched a good amount of their most recent game, and when he gets it, like the high release jumper, I think he's in for a level up, even from being one of the top however many. Like he's already a top player, but I think there's a level up coming for Jason Tatum. And if that doesn't happen, I'll eat the jinx arguments.
Final one. We got less than a minute here. NASCAR All-Star Race North Wilkesboro Speedway. Who wins it?
Gosh, I do not pay attention to NASCAR. Give me is there a Busch? Is there a Busch racing?
Sure.
Give me the Kyle Busch. I think there's a brother Busch also.
All right, we'll go with that. William Byron sounded the siren yesterday, so I'm going to go with William Byron.
Nah, you set me up for that. You were going to take the local guy and be all.
Well, it's either that or go
get
Denny
all the
Hamlin.
brownie points.
Either the one.
That's going to do it for us here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget Overdrive coming up next, our conversation from earlier about the Canes losing. You had to do it. We'll be back on Monday for more. Until then, everybody enjoy your weekend. Relax, have a good time, and we'll see you on Monday at 3. See ya. Hey, I'm Tim Donnelly from 99.